The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we talk about robots and staring at that sweet, sweet 2B ass.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome to another long-awaited episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that tries to meet deadlines and actually has succeeded this time. I'm surprised. Today we are, of course...
Well, it only met the deadlines because one game got pushed off 3 weeks.
That's very true.
That is true, yeah.
The
Cameron.
short game got put off. Short but hellish.
Hellish.
Nightmarish.
Is a word I would describe, yep.
So we are going to be reviewing Nier Automata, the Uber game that I, of course, for the people...
Yeah,
for the people, put in
air quotes
as the game. Well, what did you put in there, Caleb? You put in Injustice 2.
What did I put in?
Is that for the people, Caleb?
Oh, wait.
I don't remember what I put in.
Did I do Tekken 7?
One of you did Tekken 7 and the other did.
Yeah, Joe and I did.
I don't think Joe
games.
would have done Injustice. That doesn't sound like a Joe.
Well,
I
it was
did
the
Tekken.
one.
Pretty sure.
Did you do Tekken?
I think I nominated Tekken.
Okay, because that's weird because Tekken is the one fighting game that I know that Joe wouldn't like.
I'm pretty sure I threw
Well, he doesn't know that.
game. So I'm glad that
And
Nier won.
Injustice is made by the same dudes who did Mortal Kombat, so...
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's fun. It's good.
Yeah.
So we all finished it, and yeah, we're going to have an awesome review today. I'm excited to see what you guys think. We all had different experiences with the game, as far as I can tell. Some of us had difficulties in some areas, and others did not. And, you know, it's
the
all
whole,
over the board.
Yeah, just someone didn't have
Some of us
difficulties
had
throughout the whole game.
almost no difficulties whatsoever.
Unless, of course, they were
The game
putting...
practically played itself.
Unless, of course,
for
they were
half
putting
of it.
oil in a bucket, and then
yeah,
the
that's
trouble.
That's true. Sometimes there's some oil-related problems.
Don't jump. Don't trip.
Don't fucking jump. And you see that pipe? Don't fucking walk near it.
Yeah, keep
fucked.
your distance. Shit. Yeah, so we're going to get to that a little bit later. We also have a drawing today. We should have had it last week, but I forgot about it until last minute, and our setup made it to where I couldn't really prepare for it. So we asked you guys to comment on the audio quality of last episode, and we have readjusted and brought back our OG mics, so it should sound like it always does.
It should,
this
unless
week.
I'm fucked up somewhere along the setup, which has happened before. So I'm not going to guarantee that this will sound good, but it should sound normal.
Yeah, so back to the roots. But anyway, what have you guys been playing this last week here?
Well, Schweiss, I played Nier Automata. Yes, and I played that all last week, and that was the only thing I played. I was supposed to play some Final Fantasy Tactics, but...
You forgot it again?
Okay, the first time I didn't forget it. I just thought that it was at my place and didn't know that it was at Schweiss's.
Okay.
Then, last week, I forgot it. And I forgot
Schweiss
it
even told you, like,
thinking,
right before you left.
Shut up. I forgot it thinking that I had not forgotten it. But then I went home and found out I did forget it. What had happened, I had put the Crisis Core case that held the Tactics disc, I put that on top of my stuff. I did do that the night before. And somewhere along the way, it moved off of my stuff and was not brought along with the pile. So, that is what happened. It is now in my backpack as we speak. Along with Metal Gear Solid, which I'm going to start playing this week, and all I need is one more thing. I just need a PS1 memory card before I leave, because I unearthed my old PS1,
You unearthed it.
That is how I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, the sad part about the tactics story is that I told him, when he got here Friday of last week, I told him, I was like, Joe, grab the copy of the game right now and go put it in your car. Just go do it. And he didn't do it. And then you got fucked for it. So
I did. I got royally fucked for it, I would say, by a king.
yeah, I'm like 20 hours into that game, dude.
I am 0.
I'm like, I could finish semi soon. Maybe a week. I don't know.
Here's my new plan. Okay, and this is a good plug for the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. My new plan is, and Schweiss started making fun of my planning because I plan things all the time. How dare I, How dare I adjust plans if things change, okay? How dare I? But anyway, this is my new plan. I decided I could probably handle, and I had learned this by doing Nier this week, I could probably handle 2 hours a day of gaming in total. Every day after I get off work. I think I can do that. So even if it's a bad day at work, I can do 2 hours and probably still have an hour to spare at least. And so I can live my life and not feel like I'm under just immense pressure from everything. And so that's been a big deal, and I've been, of course, talking about it for like 4 weeks now. And this is the new idea. I'm going to do 1 hour, just 1 hour. It's very little, but I'm going to try to do, unless someone else is streaming at the same time, I'm going to do 1 hour of streaming for Nude Clan and 1 hour of streaming for UFF when I get home from work, so in the afternoons. So if you want to be there for that, that's good. Going to try to do 1 hour Metal Gear Solid, 1 hour of Tactics as well, and do a couple extra hours on Mondays, which are my other day off in the week. So that's going to be my new streaming schedule, is probably around... It'll probably be around 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, Utah time. That's when I'm going to be on and streaming on either Ultima or Nude Clan. And so that's what we're going to do from now on.
Nice.
Greg. It's going to be a regular thing from now on every motherfucking day. Starting this week with those 2 games. But yeah, last week only played Nier, and I enjoyed myself, and I'm excited to talk about it later. Craig, what did you play?
I played Dragon Quest III a little bit, and a little bit of Tactics, and I played a fuckload of Persona 5.
Why are you playing Dragon Quest? I've noticed that you've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest games in a row.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you? I thought you already played Dragon Quest III.
No, I've only played Dragon Quest 1 and Dragon Quest 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, so, I figured I'd just, go through the ones that I have. They're on the backlog.
Okay, all right. I see.
Huh. Yeah.
I see how it is. That's weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Really weird.
Yeah. I'm near the end of Persona 3, or Persona 5, though.
The end?
I am near the end. I'm 80 hours in. I am on the 7th palace. I discovered a great leveling trick, thanks to one of our listeners. She told me that all you have to do is go into this randomly generated dungeon place where, certain weather conditions will affect the enemies inside. And during the flu season, it grants enemies despair, which basically will kill them after a few turns. And so what happens is you find this Reaper creature that's nearly impossible to beat under normal means. And during the flu season, you have to encounter him a bunch of times until he has despair, and then after 3 turns, he dies. And then he drops a shitload of experience points.
Oh, you should tell this to Cameron.
Yeah, he lovingly told me all today.
I told him already, but he can't do it until he's already beaten most of the game. So he still has some time before he can do that.
I have some time.
So sorry. And unfortunately, they can't stream Persona because your channel will get booted.
Well, they're searching for stuff that is spoilery. That's why they have a limit to how much you can stream of the game. So they've moved it to, I guess, November, the first day of November. But other than that, yeah, you can't.
What assholes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
It's kind of...
Yeah. Just tell them you're going to give them a bad score.
There's a lot of spoiler stuff, though, because, I just got to it, and it's awesome.
So wait.
Yeah, but that's your choice.
Would they ban our podcast if we reveal spoilers?
No, they wouldn't ban the podcast.
No one here, Atlas, can listen to Nude Clan Gaming.
It's stupid because like going. It's like looking. It's like people getting mad at YouTube comments having spoilers for Game of Thrones. Don't fucking look at the comments. Are you stupid?
Nobody should ever look at the
YouTube
comments
off so that you can live a happier
You
life.
should never look at YouTube comments.
You should never
Rule
look
one.
at comments on anything, really,
Rule two.
because like I got Heavy Rain spoiled for me years ago because I like looked at some comments.
Exactly. It's dumb. Don't do it. Just don't.
Sometimes I like looking at Facebook comments on stuff just because I know what's going to be waiting down there. Oh man,
And Facebook is
it is just a cesspool of argument right now.
hate it. I got so many people on the right and so many people on the left, just so hard right and hard left in my friend zone, and I just see them, and I'm like,
No, every time I scroll through my Facebook feed and I see a comment leading like too far in any one direction, I unfollow immediately.
oh really?
Oh yeah, I don't defriend them.
I
so
would
they don't
do
see that
to my
I unfollow
racist
'em.
grandma.
Then do it. Unfollow her.
I did that.
Okay.
I did that. My
No,
racist grandma is no longer
Anyone?
being
I don't go onto Facebook to look at your opinion posted to the wall. I mean, like, if you wanted me to know your opinion, call me up or contact me. I don't want to see it on my fucking Facebook wall. So I unfollow you if your opinion's too far one way or the other.
Keep everybody.
Keep everybody. A lot of people on Facebook don't realize that I have a sense of humor. So if I put some
Exactly.
thing in my sisters or someone will get on me about whatever I say. I don't have an example right now, but I bet.
No, I understand what you're talking about.
They'll
It's
just be
stupid.
like, I can't believe you'd say this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, fuck you. Oh, wait, that one girl that said she dated the guy
Yeah.
who was snooping around
And
the
so
store.
either or it's just three options. A, you ignore it. B, you turtle up and just, so sorry, this is a joke. Or C, you just keep going after it as hard as you fucking can.
That's what I did. I said I would feel bad because she was talking about him being I'm not sure if we talked about this on the show.
It was a getting
We
fat
probably
episode.
did. Okay. Yeah, she talked about him. Oh, I can't believe you would treat someone who had drug addiction so bad like that. I'm like, I would only feel sorry for him if he tripped on the sidewalk. One day, he was just a normal guy. One day, he tripped on the sidewalk, and an open heroin needle was just poking up from the sidewalk, and then he got immediately addicted to heroin. That's when I would feel bad for him. Because you know what? You kind of have to be an either really stupid person or a really shitty person to go to heroin immediately. And it's okay if you learn from these things and you become, recovered, whatever, because you then became smarter, right? But at some point you had to look at heroin and go, that looks like a good idea. That is smart. Let's do that. Let's do heroin, guys. It's it's not like the 80s where it's like, what is this? You know now. Like, you know that you shouldn't have heroin. Like, it's not okay. Don't do it. Weed is different. Whatever. Heroin? Come on. The guy was a
probably don't
heroin
do
addict.
crack either.
Probably not crack either. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, still feel that way, by the way. Still feel that way about that asshole dude. He's a fucking asshole. Jesus fucking Christ.
But Joe,
Fuck that guy.
don't forget the most important part of that conversation is whether or not the meat was fresh.
Yeah.
You just cannot have not fresh meat.
I should have asked the one lady, well, did he comment upon how fresh the meat in your salad was? I don't even know who that girl was. She was someone from our high school that Drew knew.
Oh.
She was friends with. She just added me on Facebook. I guess maybe she saw me in a hallway one day. I did not recognize. I did not know who the fuck she was.
Yeah, I don't.
She was a grade
know half
above
the
us in
people.
high school.
I don't recognize like half the people I'm friends with on Facebook from high school.
You know what? I used to go through my friends list, and like every year it'd be like a fuck you time for Facebook. It'd be like, I don't want to hear anything about you anymore. I'm not really friends with you
So
anymore.
far, again, it holds
And
true.
I started to do the opposite thing when I was doing funding for Emmanuel's song. I was like, I need to add all those people back in. They need to
That's
all
why you
come into my
disinfollow
life.
them, yeah.
So
No. So they don't get the axe unless they do something that displeases me, and then they get the axe.
all right. Fuck that guy, by the way. I'm still fucking mad about that salad.
You don't even work
motherfucker.
there anymore, Joe. Just
I know.
let it go.
I don't work there anymore. There's good things and bad things about that.
I'm glad you just.
I used
you know,
to just use their oven and cook my lunches in the middle of the night there. That was so nice.
I'm glad you finally accepted your true calling as delivery boy, though.
I'm a delivery boy. Hey, you know what? Sometimes my job is awesome. Sometimes it's really not.
Yeah, Futurama style right there.
Exactly. That's what I was
Yeah,
going
dude,
for.
he gets excited about being a delivery boy again.
Exactly.
What have you been playing?
Game.
So I have been playing basically Nier Automata.
Basically Nier.
Yeah, that's all I've been
Any
playing.
Persona?
Nope. Not a drop of Persona.
Wait, how many weeks do you have?
How many hours are you to
I'm
Persona?
still the same hours as I was last time we checked back in.
Was it like 15?
15
Yeah,
hours?
around there.
Dude, you are fucked.
You have,
Okay, look. Here's what you could do. You could do, because you said last
you
week.
can plan 12 episodes in a row.
Well, I think he can do it.
I can do. I'm going to take all
You have
the
at
fucking
least
time off.
65 hours to get to where I
Here's
am.
what you got to do, though,
And
Ken.
I'm not even done yet.
Last week you
some
said
heroin.
you said you had enough PTO
Cocaine.
to take off
Do some
every
cocaine.
Monday for the rest of the year, right? You're taking
Yeah.
2 days off next week, so that takes away one Monday and next week's Monday. If you take another 3 days off the following week to beat it in those 4 days, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you can take off all but 1 month's worth of Mondays. So you can do, I would recommend saving December, because no one wants to go to work in December because it's shitty, right?
Yeah. No.
And then just don't take a day off in October.
I'm planning on. I'm going to try to take off at least 2 days next week, and then 2 days again the week after. So I have 4-day weekends.
Yeah, 40 hours a week to beat it is where
Yeah.
you're at right now,
Yes.
just so you know.
Yeah.
So you have to have a second full-time job.
If you don't fuck up, because it only counts the actually
That's
time
okay.
played.
8 hours of work, 8 hours of game, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8
That
hours
was
of
the
game,
union call back
8
in the day,
hours of
wasn't it?
sleep.
8 hours of work, 8 hours of game.
8 hours of gaming, right?
Yeah, and 8 hours of sleep.
Okay, that's.
And then you can have 2 days off.
There you go, yeah.
I can realistically. Oh, geez. I can realistically get in 4. Oh, shut up. Okay, I can realistically get in 4 hours on a work day. And then I can just play all fucking day long. So I think I got this. I think I can do it. Just don't expect
You're a
to.
sick man.
Just don't expect me to, really want to do anything like talk to anyone during this time. Yeah.
All right, well, Schweiss, good luck to you.
I'm going to build my own castle
It's
after
okay,
this.
I'll be on PSN, most
You're gonna
likely.
build your own castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, your own palace.
It's going to distort my own desires.
It's gonna distort your cognition.
It'll be a game store.
It'll be a game store, huh?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
All right, so I have been playing a pretty. I don't know. I kind of slacked this week a little bit. I played Grand Theft Auto 5. I've been playing that kind of steadily. I'm trying to do everything in the game, and there is a lot to do in this game. So the missions,
a lot
are
is
they
an
taking
understatement.
some time. Yeah, there's a shitload of things to do. I'm looking at and trying to see like what a platinum looks like for that game, and it's disgusting. It's really wrong. I tried the GTA Online. I did a couple missions. I got killed by some asshole. Although I did cut him off, and the police shot him down because of that. So he kind of got revenge on me. And it's been going pretty well. I like that game. I think it's fun. Played a few hours of that. I played probably about 6 or 7 hours of Tactics is all this week. It's a little bit down from last, and I got to this point in the game where my disc that I have lovingly loaned to Craig for a very long time. The disc, unfortunately, the disc came back not working at a certain point in the game and without a booklet, so it hurts me. But the game froze on me on yesterday morning when I was trying to stream it, and I just couldn't stream anymore. And nothing would work. I wiped it off. I cleaned it. I ejected the disc, put it back in, which works a lot of the time, right? But nothing. So I borrowed Craig's copy of the game.
Gonna be doing some game switcheroo. Hopefully, whatever freezes in this part, you gotta switch the disc for
Yeah.
this
You
other
have to
part.
do that for
I did that for
7 or
FF7.
something? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and who knows?
I wanted to play my Black Label edition. Had to put in the greatest hits every once in a while to.
Who knows which version of the game you'll get back? I mean, it might get mixed up. We both have right now. They're in cases that don't have booklets, and they're both greatest hits copies. So who knows what'll happen?
You have the greatest hits as well?
Yeah, mine's a
Okay.
bitch copy. It was perfect before, though. Let me tell you, it was new. Caleb.
No, it wasn't.
It was fucking new. I got it for Christmas, dude.
No, it wasn't.
And it was awesome.
Can't you just go resurface it or something?
I'm gonna probably do that, but I.
Didn't you have Jake try that? With
Yeah.
his,
Oh, yeah. So Jake also used his disc doctor on it.
Oh, no.
And it is not a doctor that you want to go to.
It didn't go to medical school.
No, it didn't. It was a fucking hack. It learned all of
got its degree in.
You don't go to like someone.
learned-
I have my own disc doctor. You got to go pay that $1 at
Holistic
at
medicine.
GameStop
Yeah.
and do it there. Because then you can blame them and they have to buy the game
world
for you.
country.
Yeah,
even.
it's a doctor who learned everything he knows off of like Laffy Taffy rappers, like the stupid jokes.
This is
that
what
they
doctor
have.
jokes.
Yeah, a bunch of doctor joke ones. You got like the doctor edition, the medical.
Pretty much
edition.
what my film degree is worth.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy.
Good job there. So yeah, I did that, and I also played probably about the first third of Metal Gear Solid. Actually, I got pretty far. It's not a long game at all, and that's
If you
one of the
don't
things
die a
that.
lot.
Oh, I died.
Okay.
I died probably 3 or 4 times. I would imagine, and some of them I let myself die because I was like, no, I could do this better. So I just stood there. Until
Yeah, he
they
died
killed me.
like 6 times in the beginning.
Nice.
Yeah, because I know where everything's at, and I feel wrong about not doing it flawlessly. But it's kind of nightmarish with the controls. It's really sensitive, and the camera angle is not the best. So
And his grip thing is like falling off his controller.
yeah, I would say go D-pad. Don't. I guess you
Or have a controller that's not a fucktard.
maybe. I'm not sure if the original game has. I think it does have analog support.
I don't remember
actually.
the control. I played a couple hours of it. I don't remember the controls being.
They were kind of jerky. I don't know.
Okay, well.
I'm just not used to it. I'm used to Metal Gear Solid 2 and on, where it's really good controls.
God, dude. I'm just playing Metal Gear Solid 1 so that I can eventually get to Metal Gear Solid 3 again.
Yeah.
Even though we have both played it, so me and someone else will have to play it.
You know, I'd play it if they let me play it on my Vita, but they won't.
Why wouldn't they? It's a
I don't know.
PlayStation. It's-
Dude, I don't know. They don't have it on the fucking Vita. They have the fucking VR missions for Metal Gear on the Vita, but not the actual first Metal Gear. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
I have Metal Gear Solid 3 on there, though.
That Abrax
to me, it just seems like it'd be a great place for it.
he's been spamming the goat symbol in our chat for the greatest game of all time, Metal Gear Solid. It's his favorite
I don't
series.
know
So
about that.
the first one's not, but I don't know. The third one, we could argue.
I've only heard good things about the first one.
It's great. No, it's my second favorite. I haven't beaten 4 though. My ranking now is 3, 1, 2.
See, I want to play all 5 of them.
I do too. I want to play 5 so fucking bad, and it's been out for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 fucking years.
Yeah.
Where has the time gone?
Well,
I
you got
remember,
one of
like,
them
oh,
for
man.
free, too, and you never played it.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I do
never
remember trying to put in 4 right after I beat 3, and the control scheme was way different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm afraid that might happen again this time, where I'll be like, what the fuck? It's like the control scheme.
Just don't expect it to be the same.
It's like going from FF12 to FF13 in UFF, and one of them had an inverted camera, the other one had the regular camera as the default mode. I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck does this? You make a sequel to a game, and you're like, huh.
Oh, and then
Well,
one
you know,
of them,
they usually play them years apart instead of, like,
Instead of
immediately
after.
and then one of them had a map that was stagnant because that's what
Yeah.
a map is. And then the other one had a map that moved with you. So you're like, you're trying to figure out where to go. You've been drinking and you can't. You just can't. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You're like, this just, it was going left and now it's right.
I
What?
think it's a Metal Gear Solid quintology playthrough, anthology playthrough. 5 games.
Yeah.
It's Quint.
Well,
it is quintology.
Yeah.
There's
that's
like
how
Metal
it
Gear
is.
Rising, and then 5 is like 2 parts with Phantom Pain. and
Yeah,
Ground
I'll just
Zeroes.
get the big version that has both of it, all of it in it. One of them's like only 2 hours, the other one's like really long. So obviously one of them's the real game.
Yeah, I'll join Metal Gear Solid the whole way.
Yeah.
I have 3 on PS2, the Hog version of it with the like millions of hours of VR missions.
I'm saying that not knowing if I'll like one at all.
Oh, you will, I bet. It's not very long and it's kind of movie-like, honestly. That's what a lot of people give it shit for. It's because it's like
Because
only
it's like
8 hours.
99%
Cutscenes.
cutscene.
There are a lot. It's not as much as it gets later on. Believe me, 4 is ridiculous. And I didn't even finish 4. It was like
It has a
crazy.
2-hour cutscene.
At the end, yeah, I think it's a movie at the end of the game.
That's pretty crazy.
Just make sure that you have time to be.
All right. We talked about what games we've been playing. Has anybody beat a game? Craig?
Oh,
There we go. Sorry.
That was
God damn
Craig's
it.
cry.
I beat Dragon Quest 3
Nice.
You fucking slob.
Where's that goddamn paper at?
I got it.
somewhere.
Give it to me.
Camacles.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
I beat
Way
Nier
up high.
Automata.
Automata.
Wait, what'd you beat again, Craig? Sorry.
Dragon Quest 3.
Dragon Quest 3.
Oh, man, I'm just getting further and further away from the Krieger.
Yeah, and I'm still playing a 100-hour game, Schweiss.
Well, Dragon Quest 3 and Destiny 2 aren't 100 hours, and neither is Zodiac Age.
Well,
I'm
Dragon
looking-
Quest 3 did take me like 30, and Destiny I played like a shitload of. It was
So-
only 10 hours.
I'm just looking at the list, and you say 100-hour game, but somehow you have time for these other two.
No, I was going to say, so Schweiss, that Caleb has been begging me to get Destiny 2. I have another friend who's begging me to get Destiny 2.
Oh,
Like,
I haven't
so I said
been
finally,
begging
so I
you.
finally
I
said,
told you
okay,
you
I'll
should
get
just get
Destiny
it.
2 in like 2 weeks from now. 2 or 3 weeks from now. I'm like, I won't even, if I buy it right now, I won't even have time to even look at it.
Well, that's the thing. This is the test. See if Caleb and your other friend are still playing Destiny 2
Oh,
in 2
that's
or 3
true.
weeks.
But see,
I'm gonna be
but see,
resuming it after I'm done with Persona 5.
you
wait.
say that.
we'll see if
But
it
wait.
survives, but they're putting that much time into it, and then I'm just barely starting it. They're already reaching the game fatigue zone of it when I download it. So
Not since I've taken a break from it ever
That's
since
how
I beat
you'll
the
know.
story.
That is how you'll know. Schweiss is right. It's absolutely how. So you beat Nier Automata this week. Is that it?
I did. That's all I had. Yeah, that's all I played.
Schweiss?
Nothing from me.
Nothing from Schweiss. Ooh,
It's been a
shit.
while. It's been like a month since I beat a game.
Ooh, that does not look good. I beat Nier Automata as well. Okay,
And Craig, you sick piece of
Craig
shit.
has beat 25 games this year so far.
You're half of Jake.
King Hog of the hosts. Schweiss is behind by 4.
Oh, he's behind by 4.
Last game he beat was FF12, and he's only at 21 games.
Need those. I need to get on board with the Telltale. I just need to do it.
Dude, I have 4 of those that I still need to play.
He's like, go
Don't.
ahead, try it, bitch.
No, I'm serious. I have to finish
You said.
Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 and Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, and Tales of the Borderlands.
Jesus.
Okay.
And the new Batman one.
Did you buy that?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw a trophy from you, but
Yeah,
It
I've only
looked
played
weird.
the first part of it.
okay.
All right.
Or the
Cameron,
Season 2 one.
Cameron
I
is
beat the first
in
one.
third place at 14 games beaten. Quite a drop there, and then a smaller drop from me to Cameron. I'm at 12 games beaten this
Wow.
year.
You're going to be riding Cameron's ass again, just like last year.
Yeah, tactics when that happens.
It was actually the other way around.
Remember,
Last year,
have
I was
to
the one
play
lagging
twice as
behind
many
everyone
games.
because I would probably beat a game every time we did a review, and then he had 2 games, and so I was lagging behind Joe last year until the very end where I got like 4 games in a row.
Did you end up beating him last year?
No,
or
we
did you tie
tied.
him.
We
Okay.
tied last year.
Are you okay with that? Like, you comfortable tying Joe?
No, I'm not okay with that. On a
He's okay
dominate
with
him.
it. He's okay with it.
I want to crush him. I just don't want to play anything to do it.
I was thinking
Well,
about
you can't.
it.
You still got Persona.
I think last week I thought about it and I was like, I think the total amount of games I ever beat before starting UFF, I think I'm doing more games per year
Than you would ever be.
than I had ever beaten my entire life. I've
Yeah.
played a lot of games,
Yeah.
I believe it.
but
Yeah.
beaten games, not that many.
It was just like a handful
Probably
of
like
Final
a
Fantasy. And
there
then
was
Halo.
probably like a dozen games.
I mean, up until this point, there was a
Couple
few
Harry
games that I
Potters,
really enjoyed to play
Halos.
on my own. But for most of it, it was gaming was a social activity that you just did with friends.
That's why you have to stream. That's what makes it social.
Except when you stream, you just have performance anxiety.
You'll get Abrac in there. Oh yeah, you'll definitely get
Oh, yeah,
performance
yeah,
anxiety
yeah.
from that fucking guy.
No. So how it is, I'm
what?
streaming Nier, and I'm doing decently fine streaming
about your
Nier.
performance anxiety with
Caleb's
one of my
watching.
Well, Abrac is just like he shits on it. He shits
Oh,
on it
yeah.
if you fuck up.
Yeah, but
He's
I
vicious.
don't care about Abrac. I mean, I care about Abrac,
Fuck
but
that guy.
I
He's
know-
in the chat right now.
I know
Just-
he's in the chat. So I
know.
I care about Abrac, but like when he's joking or teasing you, I don't care about that. That's okay. It's just when I'm on streaming, Caleb's on commenting, right? And as soon as Caleb leaves, so do the rest of the fucking viewers. Just even Jake's gone. Don't even have Jake anymore. And so I'm like, what the fuck am I streaming for?
Yeah, not that many people watch me either. But Just do
And
it.
then when Craig gets on, everyone watches too because they just love to see he get frustrated as hell.
I do.
It's only good.
sometimes
It's
get
only good
angry.
when they watch Craig play a bad game.
Craig's milkshake does bring the boys to the yard.
It's true.
Damn,
I have
right.
seen it.
It's better than yours.
Yeah.
I can teach you, but I have to charge.
Charge me to eat?
I charge you, Caleb Craig, to give us a question.
Oh, we do have a question.
Yeah.
Do we have one about Nier?
Abrac.
We don't have.
I do care about Abrac. It's just I'm okay with you getting mad at or trying to make fun of us. That's totally fine. That's what I wanted to get at. Not that I don't care about Abrac.
So you're gonna
No,
make fun
you
of the
just-
fact that everybody's hair looks very combed today? I'm looking at Caleb Craig's hair. He's got the good lines through it. I'm seeing the same thing on camera.
But I do this every time my hair gets this long, though.
Yeah.
Your hair is combed over to a side as well.
It was finger combed. It wasn't combed.
You just like to finger things, don't you?
I do. I love fingering.
I bet you.
It's what I have the most experience with. So
Do you love it, though? I mean, I don't know if I'd say
it's all right.
love it.
It's not
like-
bad. I don't mind it.
All right.
Craig?
Fruff ass, I liked the why do men have nipples question this week. The show should have a weird, totally off topic question weekly. So let's start. Why do you think apes stopped evolving? I mean, if we evolved from apes, shouldn't apes still pop out little human babies every now and again? No?
All right. I read a book. Believe it or not. No, actually, I listened to this one. I didn't physically read it. As
No, we still say that's
Schweiss-
red.
Okay, all right. We say red. We say
still
red,
red.
but
We
if
still
I
say
don't
red.
fucking start with that caveat, all Schweiss is going to be like, oh, you read the book?
No, I'll just look at you and smile. So.
Okay, all right. It was by Nicholas Wade, and it was called... Fuck, I forgot what it was called. Before the Dawn.
Probably because you listened to it.
It's called Before the Dawn. I listened to it like 1.5 times. Listened to it once, thought it was awesome, and restarted it. And apes have evolved. They have evolved since in the last 2 million years. They absolutely have. Their evolution has been slower because they have not migrated out of their area. So humans were in that one part of Africa that we're most likely from.
The cradle of life.
Anyway, we left whatever the forest region was that we had our linked ancestor, which was not an ape. It was a different type of creature that we were somehow interrelated with. What is it? The missing link, right?
Right.
And from there, you get it's not an ape. We're closely related to the chimpanzee and the bonobos. Those are our nearest ancestors, not the ape.
Yeah, chimp's way closer.
Chimp is really close to us.
Although,
Now,
honestly, everything is
but-
pretty fucking close if you really look
but
at it.
chimps, within that same amount of time, they have evolved less because they haven't had the genetic need to evolve more because they live in the same region that they've lived in the entire time. Humans, however, left that area, went into an arid part of Africa, and then from there spread out. And there's a bunch of little genetic factors in history, and that's how they can trace the migration of people throughout time is through the Y chromosome.
Simple answer. We came from a common ancestor.
Common
not,
ancestor was the phrase I was looking for.
not ape. So
Yeah.
we evolved differently.
Yeah,
That's why they still
So
exist.
I don't know the evolution of apes per se. Do know that chimpanzees, bonobos, likely evolved from a common ancestor with chimpanzees. So there was some. There was another split there, but this is apes have changed. They just haven't changed nearly as much. They haven't had the genetic need to.
I mean, we've been keeping them
Yeah.
down too. Look at the recent event. I mean, not that recent, but last year. I mean, one of them shot him down. Like we keep them in cages. You know,
yeah.
it's hard to succeed when
Oh man,
there's someone that's just so much better than you.
that was a Harambe reference.
Yeah, Harambe. It's like trying to play Age of Empires 2 with my friend Dwayne. You suck. Everyone sucks because
We just can't show them Rise of the Planet of the Apes or anything.
Yeah, don't fucking start with don't get those ideas in their head. You know, it's not safe.
Anyway, so I'm not. Yeah, that's kind of. I think it was chimpanzees are the only other creature that we know of to, like, really to war in the same way that we do. So Jane Goodall, she's the one who studied chimpanzees. There's actually there was a war that took place between two tribes of chimpanzees, and it's not the same as another creature. Like one creature enters their territory and they fight them. This was over time groups of chimpanzees trying to take over another
Gang wars.
Yeah, it was different and ambushed. It was crazy.
There's the Crips and the Bloods.
So there's no other creatures except us who deal in war that we know of. So that's another idea, is that war is inherent in our species.
Are you telling me that the snail war of 2012 was a joke to you? It's not real.
The snail war?
Yeah, they got into you can look it up, dude. They got into salt, and there was a snail genocide.
Snail nuke.
Snittler, as they called him.
Fuck are you going on?
Other species, man, they do it. I'm telling you.
No, because other species hunt,
I would love to
but
see
it's
a
of the
snail
same
war.
species
I
having
would
a war
love
with
that.
each other.
I would too, especially if one of them was.
I'm probably gonna have to read the cliff notes on
They
that.
get,
Otherwise, it'd be too
salt
long.
shakers,
But there's
different
different
to their
there's
backs.
different definitions of what war is, and there's this very specific one that is more complex, and that's the kind of same thing that it's in the fucking book. It's too much information to remember all the way through,
Yeah.
but it was super interesting. So it's more than just ants fighting over when they find each other. It's more than just that. It's straight up for land, and it's not just males, it's the whole tribe. So it's crazy. It's crazy shit. Anyway, so yeah, apes, I'm pretty sure they have evolved.
Everything evolves.
Right, everything evolves. Everything has mutation, genetic drift.
The whole
sexual
point is
selection.
that
It's all
we
in
did
there.
not evolve from apes. That's the whole point.
No, we didn't evolve from apes, but we have a common ancestor.
Correct.
Somewhere
That's the whole
along
point,
line,
yeah.
That's the whole point, yeah.
Yeah.
In
Am I
fact,
crazy?
I mean, that's the whole point of the show, honestly.
Yeah.
If you really sit down and think about it, that's what Nude Clan is about.
Yeah. And if you really sit down and think about it, bananas share 50% of our genetic code. So,
Where's the common link there, huh?
yeah.
Somewhere there is a common link there. It's way back. It's way back, but there is a common
Somewhere
link
a
there.
race of people who peel themselves before going to bed is going to get really angry.
What, snake people?
No, yeah, people who peel themselves.
Peel themselves.
Oh, I was making a banana people joke.
Yeah,
my
I know.
God.
I got it.
I did not do that. I was like, what the
I was thinking
fuck are you talking
snakes
about?
shedding and shit.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Do we have the drawing ready?
Um,
Is that
I like how he
lid?
stuffs all those into a teeny little cup that you cannot really
you know what? Fuck it. Pause it for a sec. Let's get the drawing done. All right, so Craig is fishing around blindly in the bucket of nominees for the video game drawing.
See, the thing about Craig, he does everything blindly.
Yeah.
So you know.
He may
Fuck
be
you.
he may
But
be
you're right. Because I'm blind.
glancing at the bucket, but he doesn't actually see anything within. So he's shuffling. Are we gonna? I know. I said I was gonna put my copy of Nier Automata in
My
there.
copy of Nier will also be in there.
Okay.
And I haven't used any of the codes.
Oh shit! This is an Uber game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna. So I guess two versions, 2 copies of Nier. So we do 2 of them.
Okay, I got one. Number 8.
All right, number 8. Oh man, Laliana Goze, whose name I slaughter, and we have to refer to as Felicia Nomiko because of that slaughter,
Oh, man.
has won a game of her choice. Do we want to do 2?
We could.
Wait, are we doing 2 Ubers and then one?
No, 2 total.
2 total.
And they can have the Uber if they want. But
Okay.
last time they didn't want the Uber game.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
They don't want that secondhand gift from Jamu.
Okay.
All right, so
Craig, our
Number
second.
2 is 6.
Douglas Hopkins, Shori Lamente. It's called Hente, man. You win.
Wow.
Good job. Send us a tweet. We have the games listed on the website. You can go there and see what's on there.
Not Metal Gear Solid.
Not Metal Gear Solid.
Sorry, guys. I got to use it.
But we do have 2 copies of Nier Automata if you guys so desire. Do we have 3 amongst all of us?
No, because I was borrowing your copy.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. But I still have my copy of Jamu game.
Yeah, we all have it. No one took it.
Oh, come on.
Everyone's played Horizon Zero
Yeah,
Dawn.
Horizon
Oh,
Zero Dawn.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
yeah,
going
we've
for.
got plenty of games on there. Go check out the site. Just search in the search bar, search like giveaway games, and it'll pull up the article with all of them.
Tell Schweiss which one you want.
There might be a couple of others that aren't on there yet. I'll have to go in and edit it and make sure everything's added, but send me a tweet and I will send them off. I also owe someone a video of a movie, the last movie we watched. I haven't sent it yet. I keep forgetting.
Oh, they did tell you that they reviewed, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it was True Hoax, so I know where he lives.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that in a very odd way.
He
Yeah.
meant it.
Let's get to our Nier review.
Let's do
About
it.
time.
Rated M for blood, partial nudity, strong language. Where's the partial nudity? I don't actually know.
The upskirts. When you're A2, you basically get rid of all of your armor. That's true. It's hot. She's basically in underwear.
Is that a trophy?
No.
Okay.
For what?
How beautiful this world is.
The commander's put me in charge of your maintenance, ma'am. That means I'll be performing regular checks on
I'll also be stroking your face like a freak.
If anyone is listening to this, there's something I need you to do. If
I need
you
you.
ever meet up with Yorha Unit 9S, I want him. I mean,
Super far in the future. I'm basically just looking for spoilers in this whole thing.
There are quite a few, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We're not so different after all. Pod 153, I order you to halt all logical thought and speech.
they're not A2. I can handle this. Androids were designed to protect their human masters. Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it. You two are the last remaining members of Yorha. That's not the operator. It's
That's no moon.
All right, Schweiss. Take
All
it
right.
away.
Well, Nier Automata, as we all know, is an action RPG video game developed by Platinum Games and published by Square Enix. You may know Platinum Games from their popular series Bayonetta, and they also partnered with Konami to create Metal Gear Revengeance. Very odd name. Nier Automata was released in Japan on February 23rd and March 7th in the States. The game is a sequel to the 2010 game Nier, which is a spin-off of the Drakengard series. The gameplay combines both RPG and action-based combat, features a large mixture of genres similar to the original game. Production on Nier Automata began in 2014 with series creator Yoko Taro, producer Yosuke Saito, and composers Keiichi Okabe and Kaigo Hoashi returning from their roles within the series. Akihiko Yoshida from Square Enix was in charge of the character design. Yoshida has worked on many of the Final Fantasy games, including 12 and Tactics. He did the character designs in those ones as well. Their initial goal was to create a Nier game.
Wow, he
It was-
went extreme in this one, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Because FF12 is pretty, like, for a Final Fantasy game, especially a late Final Fantasy game, like, the character design is actually quite modest and,
Yeah,
like,
and mild compared to
and
this shit.
conservative and
Unless you look at Fran.
which is great. Yeah, it is better for the Final Fantasy. It's like less crazy than FF10's, short pant.
Yeah.
Half short pant,
Half
half
short-
long pant,
Yes.
half capri pant.
So this is actually his character designs are a little extreme in this one. I mean,
Yeah.
compared to at least the FF12 work.
Certainly, yeah. So their initial goal was to create a Nier game true to the spirit of the original while improving on the combat system.
Actually, I think the art director or art designer is a chick. You say no.
No, well,
Well, it's a Japanese name, so If it's less common, I don't ever know.
If it's the one the main one behind tactics, then it's a woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have no clue. No idea at all. None. So the setting of the game, it's supposed to be
Quit
post-apocalyptic, and it sets...
What?
It takes place after the fourth ending to the original Nier game. Now, Caleb, you're the only one here that's played Nier. You haven't beat it, though, have you?
No.
Okay, never mind. It's got the same. It carries over the Drakengard series tradition, apparently, of a dark atmosphere and branching storylines. But Nier is not connected to the rest of the series as far as like a narrative perspective goes. It is kind of its own thing for Nier Automata. So I don't feel guilty jumping in on what could be like the fourth game, because it's really the second game, and then even then it's not really the second game. So it's set in the year 11,945 AD, and the story revolves around a war between what's left of humanity and a machine army from another world. The invaders, I guess an alien race, came to Earth with their machine army and forced humanity to escape to the moon. So we have a moon base, and that's essentially where we live now. Humanity creates a race of...
so we think.
Yeah. Humanity sends down combat androids that they've named Yorha to fight the invaders in sort of like a proxy war setup thing. While... the emotions, the robots the androids aren't supposed to have emotions and stuff like that, but over time they kind of have developed that, the same as the machines.
Yeah.
And so like they were never really meant to have that, so like I'm not sure even now if it's actually there or if it's just like a corruption. Craig probably knows because he's staring at me, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's the point, is that you don't fucking know. But the main character of the story...
There's a lot of things in this game to not really understand.
Yeah.
Know?
It's kind of pretty... It's pretty crazy, honestly. The main protagonists are 2B, a chick with a really
not
nice...
to be. There's to be, and then there's not to be.
An android with a wonderful ass, and we also have 9S, who is her sidekick. He doesn't have that great of an ass because he's a dude. And he's a child. And he's a child, yes. And then we also get another character, A2, who we meet. She's from like an obsolete line of androids, I guess, but I don't know why they made her obsolete, to be honest.
It was because they made the 2B units.
I know.
She's the same
I know
ones.
I know why. Just
they updated.
She's pretty awesome. So we end up running into
You like those robots, don't you, Cray or Schweiss? Whatever your fucking name
yeah,
is.
they're not bad. So
Okay.
they also on the moon. Okay, so in space we have like a 2001 Space Odyssey-esque space station where the androids are kind of headquartered, right? Mm-hmm. And this is where the boss lady is. This is where she communicates directly with the humans, so to speak, from this base, and sends out orders to the planet below, essentially. And we have some other random androids, Adam and Eve, who are like twin androids that we don't really understand a whole lot about them in the beginning. Yeah, they have no gender. We do see them one of them being born, which is odd.
They also fight naked, and they got the fucking Ken doll.
The Ken doll bulge, yeah.
The smooth.
It is not a good image. I don't like that image at all. I'd rather see a second.
Yeah, I was going to say Joe wants to see a dick.
I want to see the nuts and bolts. I don't want to see that fucking. What the fuck is that? I see this very manly body on the top. And then it goes down, and it's like smooth. It's nothing. There's nothing there. It's not liking that. Yeah, it feels about as wrong as like a man lady when you're looking through porn and like something gets through the fucking filter things, and you're like, oh my god, that's what it is. That's the same feeling. It's like accidentally finding like a tranny. It's the same.
He's not
feel.
into that tranny. He likes his men not pretending to be.
Well,
men.
did I tell you about?
Goes all
did
the
I tell
way
you
up.
about my uncle?
Yeah, you did.
Yes, and we can tell it still affects.
Runs in the family.
Still makes me want to puke. Every time.
Anyway, essentially the plot of the game, it opens up as 2B and 9S searching looking into machine territory and trying to clear out the threat for the local resistance camp of androids. And everything seems to be going all right. We actually find out that the machines have sort of developed their own style of society. And there's like a little machine village that we see later on. And
yeah, but they're like rebel machines almost. They're
the
really rebel machines.
They're not following the normal machine path.
That's because they left the network.
Right.
Yeah, they got off of the network. Honestly, this game has
They
a lot
left
of
the hive mind.
yeah. This game has a lot of the same things in it as Horizon Zero Dawn does.
There's
actually,
a lot of similarities.
it's kind of crazy. I was like, is this Nier or is this Horizon again? Like it's kind of nuts. So we see the evolution of the machines. We find out that the alien race that brought the machines to fight and destroy mankind, those guys have died and they've been dead for a long time. We go down and find that, and then Adam and Eve, the two androids, the two main baddies, are kind of, I don't know, they're kind of assholes, and they're basically just destroying everything. And then we later find out that the humans have actually been dead for a really long time, and no one, our boss, the commander, decided not to tell us anything about it. So she kept that secret, and then also the 2B models of androids are essentially created to be able to kill androids, because one of the things they programmed into the androids in the beginning was the inability to kill another android. But there's that part in the story where 2B is allowed to do it, where she starts killing the other androids, right? And you're not supposed to be able to do that. And basically 2B was the oh shit, what was that guy's name in Horizon Zero Dawn? It was like Diablo, something close to that. Hades.
It's not
2B.
close to Diablo.
Well, it's a similar thing.
I can see the similarity there.
No, there's nothing similar about it.
Lord of Underworld kind of thing.
Yeah, but he's not evil. That's the thing that you
Hades
don't
is
understand.
He's a computer.
He's evil in the 1997 movie of Hercules. So that's really what counts here.
True, yeah, true enough.
Hades the god is not necessarily evil. Okay, let's just put that out
But
there.
he is in Hercules from 1997. And that's an
He's
important
a
distinction.
dick in Hercules.
Oh, no, he's evil in Hercules. He's straight up evil.
Nah,
So
he's
yeah,
just a dick.
they
he's
A2
really funny.
is kind of set up the same way as Hades was in Horizon Zero Dawn, as like a kill switch down the road. So like, if everything goes to shit, if the humans die, if they aren't able to beat the machines out, they basically just go out and they kill everybody, and everybody starts malfunctioning.
So the humans' plan was like, well, if we can't live, fuck it all.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
So that starts happening. Everybody gets super corrupted. They have this, like the main 2001 Space Odyssey base gets destroyed, and that's kind of a big deal because up to that point you could basically save your data, like your characters' memories and experiences, to the base, and then you could then reprogram all of those memories into a new machine. But now that the base has been blown up and is destroyed, you can no longer do that. So when they start dying, when the androids die in the story, they're like dead forever.
For good.
And then of course the game, as is popular within the series, quote unquote, has multiple endings. One of them
3 playthroughs, by the way, to get to like a full game.
Yeah, you play you play 2B's playthrough the first time, then you play 9S, and then you play
A2
Then
and 9S.
A2 and 9S,
post main
yeah.
character death, and then the figuring out of all the shit that happened in the past.
yeah,
to a very unsatisfying ending, or one of the many unsatisfying endings.
And yeah, the game essentially ends one of 4 ways, I think.
26 ways.
Yeah. You end up meeting on top of this tower, and like A2, one of the robots, we see her kill 2B. And we see that from 9S's perspective, and like he doesn't realize that 2B basically got like destroyed, and she's like living on in A2's mind in a weird fucking way. And so he thinks she killed her.
Her memories are transferred
maliciously.
to her weapon.
Yeah, that's what it was. Memories transferred to the weapon.
Whatever the fuck that means.
She needed to be destroyed because she was like corrupt and shit. And
The virus that she had would send out to all the other androids if she had lived.
Yeah. So she had to be killed.
She had to die in order to like basically spare the resistance from also being infected.
Yeah, there's a crazy part where, again, it becomes Horizon Zero Dawn, where the machines start going berserk, and they start it's like a zombie section of the game where the machines like start eating
the other robots.
Yeah,
that
reminded me a lot of the Horizon Zero Dawn plot as well, where they the machines just suddenly are eating everything, and they're going to wipe out life as we know it. So we run into that. That's similar, and then near the end we climb this giant tower. We fight after we've killed Adam and Eve, the douchebag twins, and then we there's a final showdown between A2 and 9S. And this is kind of an interesting storytelling element because right here you get the opportunity to choose who you're going to fight as for the next little bit. And I first chose 9S just randomly. If I were to only play this game once and I actually chose who I wanted to win, I would have gone with A2.
Yeah, I was like A2. Fuck that 9S.
Yeah, because he's kind of illogical in that moment, and it's weird because machines aren't supposed to have feelings, but they all totally do, and it's weird. I don't know.
It is very odd.
Yeah,
what is the game trying to say?
And then it's funny because one of the kids, they both go back and forth oh, we don't have feelings. And then the next scene, one of them will start yelling at the other one.
Yeah.
If you don't have feelings, why are you so pissed?
Okay, so the androids do have feelings. They're just not supposed to express them. And they talk about how the machines don't have emotions, but they're expressing things that seem like emotions the entire time. And
Yeah,
that's why
right.
they're confused. So there's
two
a
ideas
distinction
butting
is
up
that the
against each other.
androids do have emotions.
So
they're
there's-
just not allowed to display them when on missions.
There's one official ending where they both live.
Yeah, there's the air quotes canon ending where everybody lives, which is fucking bullshit, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, live as in the pods go reconstruct them, but yeah.
Yeah, which is fucking stupid.
Why do you
stupid.
feel that way, Craig?
Because
I'm sensing a lot of anger.
I found the first ending, well, not the one with 9 where you choose 9S, because basically what happens is you fight A2, and then they both just kill each other, and the game ends. That one's shitty.
I'm okay with that ending, but the A2 ending is much better.
Yeah, where she defeats 9S. A2 basically just lets herself die, and then the robots carry away 9S to reconstruct him and live, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But what's with the animosity towards the
happy
the canon ending? Yeah, the happy one.
Where they all get carried away and reconstructed?
I have a problem
So 2B
with
and
there
9S can live
being
happily ever
with the
after?
idea of there being a canon ending to a game that has multiple endings.
Really?
I have a very serious problem with that. Because
okay.
it kind of negates the entire purpose of having multiple endings.
Well, do you think they're going to make a direct sequel to Nier Automata?
If they do, then there will become a specific ending that is the true ending. But then what the fuck is the point? Seriously, you can't just
Well, it's for fun. It's to play the game multiple times to get the multiple endings.
You can get the multiple endings just by playing the game through any normal means. There's if you fish and you happen to get a certain fish and you eat it, you die. That's an ending. That is one of the 26 endings. There are 26 endings and only one of them is the canon ending? No, whatever ending you get or whatever you want it to be is the ending.
Nah,
that is how that works.
I really don't have a problem with it at all.
I disagree. I think that at the very least, the 4 should count.
I mean, people
The others-
have they actually come out and said this is the canon ending?
Yeah.
Then that's what you have to respect. I don't know.
But
If
these are alternate
if
endings.
it was all the fanboys wanting a
fun.
happy ending,
No, because the
then I would
canon ending
relax.
of fucking Parasite Eve is to go and beat this 100 floor optional dungeon,
On the
which
second
doesn't
playthrough.
make any fucking sense.
and it has to be your second playthrough. too.
Yeah, it has to be the second playthrough, which is also fucking retarded.
So fuck Parasite Eve is what I'm saying.
It's just it's illogical to say that there is a canon ending to a game when you have multiple endings.
I'm sure if the director was here, he'd be like, whatever ending you want.
Unless
the
it's a
ending you
game
got.
like Mass Effect or something where the choices actually affect the ending because that game is entirely about the choices.
Right.
This game, there's only one fucking choice that you actually make.
You're just mad that they say that there's a canon ending.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not in and of the game itself.
I also don't really care for that ending, but yes, the fact that it is the ending is ridiculous.
All right. So what did you think of story overall, Caleb?
Also, did we miss anything? Anything big?
Anything big?
The stuff with Pascal.
Oh, okay.
She's
you can mention that.
She is
He
is a peaceful, loving robot, and
Yeah, there's a village of
well, we talked about the
peace bots.
Well, yeah,
Peace bots.
we'd mentioned those, but then there was the whole suicide of all the children machines.
Oh yeah, there was a part where like the machines were just like killing themselves. That was crazy.
Yeah, during the zombie part, the Pascal, he defended all the children robots by bringing them to the factory and then fighting off a giant fucking army because Pascal is a god.
He is, yeah.
And then you come back and all the children had committed suicide because of the fear that he had taught them to experience.
Yeah, so he basically killed everybody. It's fucked, dude.
Yeah.
The game is fucked, okay?
And he feels so responsible that he asks A2 to either delete his memories or kill him.
Yeah, what did you choose?
I deleted his memories, but apparently you can just leave and leave him alive.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that one of the
though.
other endings?
I don't know, but it seemed cruel to do that to him, so I didn't.
Yeah,
I wiped.
it's a very high woman's voice, and so it's really hard to call him a
Dude,
he.
I was
in my mind, it's just really hard to
I
call
was
me a man.
convinced it was a woman, and like I had not seen any mention of him saying that he was a dude,
But it's an android,
but apparently
so
he had.
there's
so.
not actually like an X and Y chromosome going on here. There's no
he says
actual gender.
he says he identifies as a male though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's also another side plot with Devila and Popola, who are two really old androids, and I guess we end up finding out that they were the last surviving versions of the android type that actually triggered the end of humanity. So everyone fucking hates them.
Yeah, I thought that was a really weird place for the game to go at that moment. I was like, why do I got that the humans weren't there anymore. I don't understand like why this was like part of. Was this supposed to be a huge twist?
I don't know.
They treated it like one, and I was just kind of like,
that's because the disease that killed everyone is the disease that was there in the first game.
Okay.
In Nier, like the plot for Nier is that the dude's daughter gets infected with this disease called the Black Scrawl, and there's no cure for it, and so the entire thing is about him trying to find a cure.
Is he a robot?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's the last of humanity.
It's the last of
and
humanity.
so every
Okay.
human then gets fucked by that.
Got it.
They go to the moon, but they just died there because they brought it with them.
They didn't even make it to the moon.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was just the story that the.
Yeah, it was the story that they told.
So that was the plan, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What did you think of the story, Craig?
I thought it was all right.
It all right?
I mean, I enjoyed it, but there are things about it that I didn't really care for necessarily, like the story structure. For instance, how the entire first playthrough I feel didn't need to happen because you could have just done the same shit with 9S.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have stared at the ass all that time,
Dude,
Caleb.
you could have made the first playthrough, if you were going to have that, be A2 because she has like no backstory except for like what's kind of glossed over, unless like it's in some random fucking side mission. But like all it talks about is that her unit was wiped out and that she knows that Command has betrayed them and that humanity is gone. She knows that by the time that you fight her in the Forest Kingdom with the baby king.
Yeah, she knows.
Like, yeah, she knows that. And she kind of mentions it, but you don't really know what she's talking about when she says that Command has already betrayed you. So when you actually play as A2 later, I would have enjoyed more backstory for her because she kind of becomes the main person at that point.
Okay. All right.
And so, like, that's why I think that the whole first playthrough didn't need to be 2B because she was already there with 9S, and you could have done a thing where, like, it switches between them during the playthrough.
You wanted it to feel like more like one story arc.
Yeah, one story arc. Because like during the third playthrough, you get the option to switch between A2 and 9S during their like time is separated. You could have done the same thing with the 9S and 2B part.
What did you like about the story?
I liked the just the whole thing with the robots like feeling and stuff, like the whole like aspect of them like being curious about whether or not the machines like actually feel.
So the philosophical part of the game?
Yeah, the philosophical part of the game is
We'll all
huge,
die and be gods. And,
yeah, that's why I really enjoyed the ending that I got with A2, where she like sacrifices herself, like wanting to respect the wishes of 2B, sparing 9S, and her going to be with her unit, like in Robot Heaven or whatever.
Yeah, which we know exists from that Transformers
from
movie.
Transformers, yeah. We know that.
Stupid.
So, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. But just the whole part with the 3 playthroughs is kind of strange, especially when you have to play through it again as 9S with like the exact same story content, except for like the very ending bit. Like it was kind of annoying, to be honest.
What do you give it out of 10?
For story, I give it a 7.
And it tried so hard.
It did. I enjoyed a lot of it, but there's just like aspects that I wish they had explored more and stuff that they had not done.
All right, I can respect that. Cameron?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the different playthroughs, how you saw it from 2B's end, and then you saw it from 9S's end, and then 2B, everyone's trying to be nice to her, and she's just shrugging it off, and then 9S is trying to be nice to everyone, and everyone keeps being mean to him. So I thought that was kind of funny. The 2 different views is doing the same thing, but people treat them both differently.
Sure.
And so that's why I liked it, to see all the same stuff from 9S's shoes, and then I liked all of it. So for me, story-wise, with Pascal...
Now, this is... How many JRPGs have you played?
JRPGs?
Yeah.
A strictly JRPG, I started playing Final Fantasy 15, but this is the only one I've actually played and
all the way
through. Yeah.
So you wouldn't call...
What would you call Crisis Core?
Yeah, that JRPG.
Yeah,
this would be my
that's
second.
your other JRPG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one's yeah.
They're both action RPGs, so they're unusual in that respect, considering JRPG's very rich history of not being action based.
Yeah.
So, okay, what if story out of 10?
I can't give it a half, can I? So I'm probably just going to go with a 9.
A 9 out of 10. That's a very good score. So, as a JRPG, though, did you notice the difference between Western RPGs and like a JRPG?
A Western RPG is more open worlds. You can do whatever the fuck you want, whereas JRPGs railroad you a little bit more towards where they want you to go.
Right.
So you have less choice, and you're just really there to experience the story that they've created for you.
Yeah, they're more story driven, whereas like Western ones are more like exploratory,
more freedom driven.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you have now you've obviously played way more Western RPGs.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of Fallout.
Yes.
Do you have a preference at this point?
I would like to see more of a melding of both worlds, because Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, albeit good games, their story just is not as like... What would you call Lone Last Guardian?
Last Guardian, that's just an action adventure game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very story based.
Very
it's
story
a Japanese
based
game.
Very story based, and so I really like these stories that just the story means a lot. What you're doing, your actions mean a lot. Whereas in a Western RPG, sometimes it feels like you're having fun, but nothing you do really means as much as they do in a JRPG.
With Fable, they try, but it's still not to the same dramatic level as the JRPGs I've played.
Yeah.
I haven't found a Western RPG that has the same story levels.
I think the closest ones would probably be around The Witcher.
I've heard Mass Effect.
Heard Witcher's really
Mass
good.
Effect is pretty good, but Mass Effect is also a little on rails.
Obviously, I haven't played as many Westerns as I have.
So it's almost a JRPG
Easterns.
in a way.
It's pretty close. You do have some more freedoms, like you have the ability to choose whether you're going to be like good or a dick. But like that's basically the choice. It's not really evil. It's just like you're a dick. But and then you can kind of choose where you want to go a little bit, but there's still like a main story that you have to like kind of go through. Like it's like the thing that's on rails.
So I would like to see something that would be cool to me is like a Western RPG in the world of Nier Automata, where afterwards, let's say like they have a sequel like many years down the road, and you're just an open JRPG in that world.
Okay.
I think
Do you
that would
guys
be cool.
think that the buildings would really have lasted 10,000 years?
No, not at all.
But you can't walk into them, so maybe they are like really close to crumbling.
Because like the first Nier is like 6,000 or so years before this, and they were already in ruins by then.
Yes,
so it's
that's
like
a lot of fucking time.
So more time. I don't think there would be like anything. We don't have a
history of like steel buildings.
I guess that's
we know
true.
how fast stuff like this corrodes. Like we know
the outside would have to corrode, and then the steel.
So concrete. The concrete right now, their lifespan, depending on the type of, how humid things are, the type of environment. So concrete in the desert would last longer than concrete on the East Coast. But we're looking at 50 to 100 years that concrete sticks around.
Oh yeah. That's
during like it's I could see
without
I could
general
see
maintenance.
maybe the desert part, but like the main city part where there's like foresty-ish. There's like no way that shit would still be around.
Yeah, I that is kind of a good point.
And that's for reinforced concrete.
But who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I guess Schweiss does.
Maybe they have Android maintenance.
I'm going to let Schweiss go last on this one. Personally, I thought story was really good. I felt like characterization was a little shallow, and it didn't exactly make up for it with the rich world. And really cool backstory, and the fact that I had to ask Caleb Craig what the fuck happened at the end.
You didn't know?
So there was a lot.
No, he kind of wanted me to explain the ending because he like kind of got it, but at the same time he like missed a lot.
He was playing the game on autoplay, so he probably just wasn't paying attention.
We'll get to
it.
that in gameplay. But now, I thought what was really cool was how experimental it was, and that they played with structure in a game. Now, we are so used to the structure, we say, in order to beat a game, you got to see credits at the end.
Yeah.
This game will give you credits whenever the fuck you want. If you want to kill yourself, it'll give you credits. So the game maker was really creative in the storytelling. It's like, okay, we're gonna have this story arc here. We're gonna bring out the world here. We're gonna have 3 different main characters. We're gonna have 3 different playthroughs, and we'll have a billion different endings. We'll try to make them all make sense together. I thought that was really cool to explore that, and really ingenious. And I know that like Chrono Trigger has like a shitload of endings. And it's certainly not the first game to do this.
That one
but
has
it
choices.
being so, not only so linear, but also so non-linear at the same time, I thought was like a really cool thing, and it really like messes with your just the video game cliches. It just messes with them, and I really like that aspect. It's almost like a Pulp Fiction of JRPGs. Where it's like, okay, Pulp Fiction's going to be a crime movie, but it ain't going to be a normal crime movie. The structure's going to be all over the place. You're going to have like 12 different characters, and then every situation is going to go from like, it's going to be really funny, really tragic, and all these other things all at the same time. Nier is pretty close to that.
It does do a lot of good stuff with comedy.
There's a lot of, it's really tragic, really funny, and just crazy epic, all at the same time. And it does it pretty well.
It does.
I agree with you that A2's coming in at the end was not the greatest thing in the world. And if I were, unfortunately, I have to give this game a score, and I cannot give it a 10 because of that. It was just too shallow and too weird, and I didn't get enough of her, and I needed more of her if I was going to play her for 6 hours.
Right.
But besides that, I thought it was fantastic, and there's things about the world that I'm going to have to look up because I want to learn more about it, like Adam and Eve.
Well, I have that first
like
game
that.
if you want to play it.
So yeah, I might want to play it, so I might nominate it someday because I'd be interested in doing that.
Gameplay is similar, just a lot shittier.
So because of how like creative and incredible it was for me in that respect. Definitely more so than like a linear Final Fantasy. Basically says fuck you to all the rules, right?
Right.
And it does it pretty well. Like you're pretty strapped in there, except once again with the little character thing. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, like Cameron. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Schweiss?
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. I was kind of hovering around the 8, 9.
I think if I could give it 8.5, I'd give it 8.5, but 9 for me though.
And the reason why, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this game. I mean, there's a lot of comedy and a lot of great things in here. We have like random plays. We run into this part in the story where you go into this like carnival zone, and like all the machines are just like celebrating, and they're like doing like carnival
Throwing
shit.
confetti.
Confetti everywhere.
Confetti.
I've only seen it written, guys.
I don't even know what word I was trying to pronounce it there.
I mean, the story really tries to hammer in what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be conscious?
Yeah, and there's a lot
of side quests that do that too, like the play thing that Schweiss was.
Yeah, there's like a play where you see.
I kept trying to go back to see that play, but I never timed it right.
Where they're like playing a Romeo and Juliet play, and then like the machines just start like attacking each other, and there's like some really funny shit in there where one's like "fuckest thou," and
no,
like
it's
killing each other.
pisseth off.
Yeah, there was crazy, and it's really fun and it's really funny, but at the same time, it has this like really deep story that kind of makes you feel like shit, like and like really think about stuff, and you're like, man, this is.
I hate games that make you feel like shit.
Yeah, like, and this isn't like a fucking bounty hunter feel like shit. It's just this is depressing. Like, we've got this race of machines who they feel like they think they're starting to feel things, and they find this little baby who they say is going to be their king, and they're going to raise him to be.
Because they put like the consciousness of the previous king inside the baby.
Inside the baby, and they said this baby we're gonna raise him, and he's gonna grow up to be a good king and all that, and like he never grows, and they're all like they don't know what's going on, and they're like, man, this kind of sucks. Like this baby is just
and then they go crazy because they have to try and protect him from stuff because he's still a baby.
Yeah,
he's like they're like, we're just too dumb to figure this out.
They even said that.
That's what they said.
Yeah, and it does ask the question, like, what does it mean to be alive? What is sentience? What is not?
Yeah.
It's really interesting that way. I do like the story quite a bit. I like the setup. Honestly, I did like the second playthrough.
First playthrough, you feel happy. Second playthrough, you're like, oh well, that's kind of sad. That's their third playthrough. You're like, oh man, what does my life even mean?
Yeah, you're like, fuck, dude, this is heavy. Like the fucking you walk in and all the little kids, quote unquote, even though they're ancient, they have killed themselves.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I felt so bad for Pascal, dude.
There's some dark shit because he caused it all. He caused them to have feelings,
especially because like right before that, you're like, oh man, Pascal's such a fucking beast.
Yeah, because
like he takes over the Goliath class, dude, and then he like nukes the army.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was way fun. But and then he comes in and he's just like, yeah, fucked. Yeah, it's all shit. Everything's ruined, and. I think it was a pretty solid story. I do agree that some of the characters stuff was a little bit shallow. I liked A2 as a character, but I don't think we got enough time with the backstory like you guys mentioned. And honestly,
it would just need more characterization. I mean, some people always say backstory, and I understand why they say it, but there are some things that reveal character that don't necessarily mean you need to know everything about their past.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we didn't get anything.
Yeah, and like I felt the same way when I started 9S's playthrough. I was like, this guy is actually more important than 2B was, and she was the first one. Like all that shit that he was doing in the background, like he played a way bigger role in that first playthrough than you realize.
Yeah, that's why the second playthrough is so important to realize how much 9S was really doing.
Yeah, I do agree. They could have probably combined those two playthroughs. They
could have just cut back and forth or something.
Yeah, and that would have been awesome. That would have been way cool. It would have been fun.
It would have been, but I kind of dig the 3 separate playthroughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of dig it. Because there's like a reveal aspect to the second playthrough that I really enjoy, frankly. And I love his gameplay.
Yeah, I love hacking all day long.
Hacking just makes that's why the second playthrough is the fastest. Just hack all day long, man.
Yeah, plus I did like almost all the side quests on the first one, so there's nothing left to do.
0 side quests, like nothing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I did enjoy the game as a whole, and yeah, I thought the story was pretty good and not perfect though, not perfect, unfortunately.
Okay, gameplay. Someone explain this game.
All right, so basically, it's
Someone else.
if you've ever played an action RPG, it's basically the same. You get each weapon has kind of a combo amount that it will have. For instance, the first sword you get has like, and they have two separate ones because you can have two weapons for if you're playing 2B or A2. The first weapon will have like a higher combo rate because it's like your main weapon, and the second one will have a lower one because it's usually meant to be like a heavy weapon or like your secondary. So like, and every time you upgrade, you'll have more combos, but like, basically it just means how many buttons you can, or how many times you can press the button before the combo ends. So you do, so certain ones like max upgraded will have like 5, so you like keep hitting them like a bunch of times, and then you can even combine the attacks a lot with both of them.
Yeah, you get 2 main attacks, triangle and then square, I think.
It's square, and then X to go up there, and then
usually
triangle
2
to go
different
back
weapons, unless you're playing 9S, and then it's hacking on his regular weapon.
Yeah, and then you can like dodge like pretty much everything using R2 was the
Then you can use that as
button.
a counter as well. Where you hit R2, you can counter with the sword, or you can counter with your
if you
pod.
press like a button, like an attack button.
So when you
right
see him do that
attack.
cool like little gold like flip thing, and when you see him doing that, you hit your pod button to shoot your pod. That's when he does the shotgun blast with the pod.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so there's on top of that, you got your pod, and it's just kicking ass. And so basically your idea is to hold down the pod fucker and then like slash the shit out of your enemies and then dodge when they start hitting
Attacking
you.
back.
One thing I wanted to
on normal mode
to ask you about, Caleb, is that the weapons stay on their back, like they're hovering there with the gold thing, and then sometimes you just move your hands around. You're not holding the sword, but the sword is going out and doing stuff. Is that really your pod doing that? You're just telling the pod where to put it?
I don't think so.
Because I saw somewhere where it looks like that's what the pod is doing. You're using the pod as part of your
Maybe
fighting
what
style.
9S does, because he kind of just like throws the weapon out like it's a lightsaber and it spins around.
I think the
But
pod's doing
I don't.
it.
So that is most of the game, is that sort of regular RPG action mode. But then you can go in and do a mode called hacking, where you're on this like
Where it's Geometry
old
Wars.
school asteroids game almost with like a sort of
Yeah,
puzzle.
you get an
aspects to
isometric
it.
plane, and you got to destroy certain little objectives in order to destroy the shielded black spot, basically.
Yeah, like the CPU, I would imagine the
It's
core of the machine.
whatever, and
Yeah.
then it like will either kill the thing or do like a shitload of damage.
Right.
Yeah.
When I upgraded 9S's hacking ability to do fire damage and circuitry damage, everything just gets fucked when you hack them. And it does an explosion around it too. So not only did you just fuck up the thing you're hacking, but you just fucked up everyone standing next to it.
Oh, I didn't do any of that.
I never got any of those.
No, dude. If you, when I got to 9S's playthrough, I started looking at all the chips. You have things that increases the hacking damage that you can do,
I got some
and then you got
hacking
things
stuff,
that I have to look at what chip it was. But I got the thing that added fire damage, like you overheat the circuits at the same time and adds a little explosion to it.
Shit, I
whenever
didn't
you
do
hack
any
something.
of that.
Damn, dude. I
It
looked at my
leveled
chips
them.
for 9S,
Fuck.
but the only hacking ones I got were only ones that were allowed me to hack machines that were higher level than me,
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna
like
go
to take them over as like
capture some
slaves.
gameplay of it so you guys can see it because it rocks. It's really good.
I didn't look at the chips at all in that second playthrough. I just kept everything.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
you also have him in the third playthrough.
No, because in the first playthrough you have all of your
Didn't check.
your health chips and you have your attacking up chips. But when you're 9S, you don't attack as much. So I saw there's all these hacking chips and things that you can do when you hack. So I just did that all out for 9S, and
your
it
chips, you
blew
go into
through
the
it.
menu, you have to do like a menu
Yeah.
switcheroo dealio in order to get certain abilities that you've bought or picked up, and you got to put those into place. But in order to do that, you need the space for it. You got to make the space for it.
I don't know about fusing
it's
chips.
kind of a ridiculous
You
system.
can actually take chips together and fuse them to make them a higher level of themselves.
Yeah, it'll take
I
a
did that,
while.
and I did that with diamond chips, and they were no longer diamonds after I did that.
It's almost like it's kind of your way of dealing with armor and shit that you would normally have in a normal RPG. And this one, it's like, it's your auto abilities almost, or your extra
your passives and shit.
Here's a program for that.
So it's in that kind of way. It's pretty standard RPG with the exception of the hacking.
Yeah, and then you also get one of the other things that gameplay brings in is like this game is all over the place when it comes to the camera angle and
the camera
style
angle
of
switches
gameplay.
the entirety of like how the gameplay works.
Which sounds bad. Is not bad.
No, it's awesome.
Not at all.
It makes the game super. It makes it feel almost like an indie title with like a AAA within a AAA company.
Yeah,
Like,
it'll go from regular, free camera mode to a locked side view mode, almost like
side scrolling, and then it goes like top down.
Yeah, and it's there to add variety to it. And then you also have a section of the game where you're in a ship and you're basically playing asteroids. Right?
Yeah,
or not asteroids. What am I thinking? Like Star Fox or some shit? Something like that.
It's closer to Galaga, but I can't remember.
It's like a
there is
2D
an actual
plane
game that I can't remember
with your
it's
ship.
More like it.
And then sometimes with bosses, you got to do hacking and then slashing to bring them down. Anyway, it's really
hacking.
It's mostly the RPG stuff, but in between, there's a lot of like almost mini game-esque aspects to the regular game, which is really unique in my experience, and I thought very cool. For the most part, I really enjoyed the gameplay. Now, I played the game on easy mode, so most games, all right, most games out there, if they have multiple difficulty modes, normal is pretty standard. It's going to have a good amount of challenge in it, and it's just like they're going to assume that you're going to play the normal mode. Easy mode is usually just a dwarfed version of that. I didn't want to get stuck anywhere in this game because, frankly, I had a bad experience with the New Nightmare and just did not want to play a game that I was going to have to, die a lot.
Every
and
game
restart.
on easy, so
I don't play every game on easy. That is not true at all. So
a lot of the games he plays don't give you the option.
I am open to playing games on easy. I'll never play a shooter on easy.
Didn't you play Doom on easy?
I think you played Doom on easy.
I did play Doom on easy because the original Dooms are really hard, and I thought it was going to be like that. I played it on easy.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. You're right. It was not. But
I felt like I needed to turn it up because it was a little easy in parts.
I did until like two areas that were not places to turn the difficulty
anyway,
up.
I played it on easy, and Nier doesn't just nerf some of the bosses and make you a little stronger and give you more health packs or something. It gives you auto chips for everything on easy. And so when you start the game, and they're automatically on, when you start the game, all you have to do is point your analog stick towards something. Your guy will auto attack, auto dodge. The pod will be auto shooting the entire time. And all you have to do is just point your guy in the right direction. Now, I didn't know that. So starting at the game, I thought I was doing the movements on my own, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. This feels like it's not listening to me. Like, that's how the game felt until I finally every fucking thing is on auto. At a certain point, I got really used to the auto dodge, and so I did keep that one on and made my game really easy. And I'm not going to dock the game for its low difficulty, because actually there was a one spot in the game on the final boss of the second and first playthroughs where you no longer have pod support. So I did actually legitimately beat that part without anything, but it's part of the game. And then there were certain sections of the game where I forgot to put, or I accidentally bumped my trigger and I was playing on normal mode for a second.
You mean easy, but without the auto chips?
Yes, but I don't know.
Easy, but not
I honestly
easy.
don't know, Cameron, if easy mode affects anything else but gives you the autos.
It makes it easier.
I did play it on normal for about 38 minutes and then had to restart way far back. And that's another thing I would dock this game for, is that the saves are not close enough in between.
You can save anytime you want to save.
He's talking about tutorials. There is no save.
Oh, in the tutorial?
Yeah,
in the
can't
tutorial.
save an hour into the second playthrough. You cannot save.
So I played the game on normal, and for the first 2 playthroughs, I quite enjoyed it. The gameplay, I mean, you're just so involved the whole time you're fighting anything. You're attacking, you're doing all these combos, you're dodging, and you just feel so great doing these gameplays. I didn't do things often enough like switch my weapon sets. I still don't know why I'd want to switch my weapons from the best weapons I had. But
it's just for like different weapon combos, because you can have like fist weapons, you can have like spears.
Yeah, but one of my fist weapons do a max of like 150 damage, and my sword does a max of 800 damage. I don't understand. But
there's like a difference in speed.
There is, but I can still hit fast enough to make the fists obsolete, though. I don't really need those fists.
The fists also get the shockwave.
Yeah.
And that's fucking awesome.
It looks cool, yes.
Yeah, it looks fucking cool, because it's like bullets, like...
Anyways,
all these air things flying
I felt it was decently challenging. I did not think about changing the difficulty of the game until I got to the 3rd playthrough, and I got to the 3rd playthrough as a level 39 person. I'm fighting people at least 20 levels above me, and you have to go save
level 57,
and you have to go save these girls. all these different squads of girls out there. You need to save them. And I just fucking could not for the longest time until I finally I think I restarted that like 4 or 5 times. The 5th time I finally saved the first squad, and after you save the first squad, they all come join you for the next one, and it got easier after that. But there was a time I did need to change the difficulty down to easy, and this is where I heard you guys say the game can play itself, but I did not realize the fucking game plays itself.
I disabled all but auto dodge.
At 3rd playthrough,
because it was just too much. There's no play. Why make easy mode auto mode
for children like yourself?
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. There should be children mode.
It's for people who want to enjoy the story without having the difficulty, which is what it's for. But anyways, I had played a good chunk of. I had saved as A2 in the desert right before she fought like the giant desert crawler behemoth. And I played all the way through up to 9S to where you get to the part where he fights the memory of 2B. And as I was walking up, I see a ton of dead body and Android bodies everywhere, because when you play on the network, you see, where other players have died. Yeah. I'm like, that looks like a bad sign. And remember, I've been playing as 9S, where I've organized his abilities towards hacking.
And hacking is easy.
And then when you get to this boss, you can't hack it because you're already in the hacking world. You can't hack within a hack. Can't be hackception it. And I was fucked super fucking fast. Like, I was not ready for what was happening there. And when it sent me all the way fucking back in the desert, I lost hours of gameplay.
Yeah. Sucks, huh?
And I just looked at it. I'm like, you know what?
Me too.
I can't. I have to beat this game. So I switched to easy. And that's when I found out all these auto chips are fighting for me. I'm like, well, I've already beat this boss on normal, so I don't have the moral obligation to fight this boss again. So I just
pointed the trigger.
So no. So I walked her into the middle of that desert crawler fight, and I walked away, mixed myself a drink, and I sat back down and just sipping my drink, watching A2 fight this boss.
It's ridiculous. I'm not gonna. I didn't play it on normal mode, so I'm not. If this was the game, I would dock it for terribleness. Just like the idea that you just autoplay the whole thing.
And as soon as I got back to where I was before, I switched it back so I could actually beat the game on non-bitch mode.
The nice part about getting fucked in this game is at least you didn't have to sit there and listen to this.
Fuck this. This isn't even funny. Turn the shit off.
Big and hairy wiener. I cannot hear anything other than that, and it makes me crack the fuck up. Wiener, wiener, wiener. Big and hairy wiener, wiener.
I really love the gameplay. It's really involved. I felt like when you're really doing good, you feel really good about yourself. Hacking was really fun and easy after you did what I did with all the chips. And I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. What do you give it out of 10?
9.
9 out of 10. Wow, that's pretty good.
Did you pick up any of the other pods game?
Okay, so funny story. I was in the desert as A2, and I'm just walking along the desert, and all of a sudden I just hear this really high-pitched really high pitched squeal.
Then I realized I had tinnitus.
And then I'm like, what the fuck is that? For a second, I was so confused. Is this my game or is this something here? So I'm just wandering around and it goes away. And I go back to that spot, this really fucking high pitched squeal again that even my roommate, he was right there next to the TV, could not hear it. And then there was just the pod in the side of the dune. And I picked up the pod and then the sound went away.
Is your new roommate like, oh shit, was there a sound to that?
And I'm like, oh God, like stop that. What's happening? Because I thought something was breaking because it was like a really uncomfortable sound and he couldn't hear it. Do you guys know what
sound either?
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I heard it.
Yeah, I just found the pod, but
I'm walking around and I finally found the pod. Here, pod. Here, I'm going to do this real fast so I'm not going crazy. Pod. Near
if you don't hear it, then you are. Or if we don't hear it, then we think you are crazy.
Sound.
That's what will happen with this.
So yes, they do. So audio rips, the pods do make a sound. And it's just this fuckface, high-pitched squeal that it was so...
It's a good thing I have no hearing.
And so, oh man, it was not a comfortable noise. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, I deafened Joe last week with the with my.
Oh yeah, you did. Thank you.
I have a little stream video that he set up, and like I started it, and it was all
the volume
loud.
and everything we had was all the way turned up,
maxed.
and I had the headphones on, and it smashed my brains. It was louder than the fucking Metallica concert we went to
by a lot.
When people were screaming, which is of course the loudest thing at a concert, is like a group of people screaming next to you.
Yeah,
that high pitch. Ah! Your ears just like hit like the fucking eardrums are like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? That is what happened within that half a second of bump. Like,
Here, can you look it up on YouTube real fast? Just go pod near sound on YouTube real fast.
All right.
Pod near sound.
Yeah, so near pod sound or just anything with those keywords.
No, while you're doing that, I thought the gameplay was really fantastic for a JRPG. I really liked it.
And then pod C, just pick one of them.
I really liked its variety, and I'm going to give the gameplay 9 out of 10 as well. I thought it was really great. Wasn't a 10 out of 10, but I thought it was really great. Do we have this?
Okay, she's in the desert. Nothing yet. You have to be close to it.
All right, tell us when you hear it.
In the red zone?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, I did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that. I don't know if that's actually going to make it through to the mix.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just hear this little...
That is bad, yeah.
And I'm like...
I totally did not hear that.
Did you just hear it now?
Headphones on. Yeah.
You didn't hear it?
No.
You are more deaf than Joe. That is a concern.
No, dude, I did not hear that sound. I was like going and getting that pod.
You did just hear it now.
I did hear it now.
All right, that's what we're
But
talking
I had
about.
my headphones on before, too, and I didn't hear it.
And then my TV was up at a good medium volume, and that just pierced directly into my skull. I was like, no,
I didn't hear it when I got the third pod.
You know what? I actually remember something. I don't know if it was that, but something in this game, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is this game breaking? Like,
no, I had serious concern. Is something breaking? Is that a alarm going off? Like, what's going on? And then when I went away from the area, the sound went away. I'm like, did you not hear that? Everyone's like, no, I didn't hear anything. So I walked back to it, and I'm like, okay, there's a pod here. I pick it up, and the sound's
just
gone.
a dog going.
Okay.
What do you give gameplay?
I really enjoy the gameplay. There's a lot of cool stuff with like upgrading the weapons, like finding the different pods.
Masamune?
Yeah, the Masamune guy that upgrades your stuff. And like finding the different pods, they give you different like abilities, weapons. Like the second pod is like missiles, and then the third one is like shoots a laser that like goes through dudes. And then like the different pod abilities that it gives you, like the
very little messing with shit on mine, honestly.
Dude, you should have like messed with the powers because it's really cool.
That one pod I found, the one you pick up shoots missiles instead of bullets.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I
it's
used the
pretty
missiles
nice.
pretty much the entire time after that. There's also the pod abilities that like are basically your super move that take like a second to recharge. You start with like the laser one, but there's like some other really cool ones.
The spear ones was really fun when you were surrounded by a lot of enemies, but then the hammer one was great against bosses.
Dude,
I love the hammer one.
I got one that was the Mirage ability, which basically like it gives you like a bubble of area where you're going to like
I noticed
you
that when I
disappear
played
and you
A2.
like destroy everything inside of it, and they
noticed
can't
that
hit you while you're doing
as
it. It's
A2 when I was
fucking
fighting
awesome.
9S, he was doing this like little fucking bubble force field thing that I did not like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was awesome. It was a great ability, and
I'm like, I
used
didn't
the-
buy that for you. What are you doing?
Are you spending my money, huh?
I used the fuck out of that ability. You also get like a physical shield that makes you invincible to physical attacks for a little bit, and then there's another one that does the same for ranged attacks. So that kind of thing was really cool. I didn't get all of them because you get them through like side quests. And I kind of wish I had done more side quests, but I didn't because I had to beat it really quickly because of Persona. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed the gameplay a lot, and I really like the dodging thing. Like you can dodge a lot of things like mid attack, stuff like that. I like the random gameplay changes that happens with like the camera movements. That part with Pascal where he's like fighting the army and he like takes over the big Goliath dude, and it turns into fucking like what is that called? The
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, the
thing.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots thing. Yeah. It's fucking awesome where you get like the two dudes and like punch each other with giant fucking saw blades.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fucking sweet as shit. I loved all of that.
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more of that one.
The Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, and I wish it was a little bit more gamey. It was very quick and.
Well, I mean, yeah,
but it was cool. It was a cool moment.
It's fucking epic scene right there.
Yep.
And then, like, I like the hacking a lot, and it's just like everything about just the random gameplay switches was amazing, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna give it a 9 too.
9 out of 10. All right, Schweiss.
I thought the gameplay was one of the best parts about the game. I enjoyed playing around with the chips, at least in the first playthrough. Got them to a pretty good place, finally understood the system, and then I didn't touch them for the second and third playthroughs, which it sounds like I should have. Based on the hack increases, I had none of that, so I just had to keep hacking over and over again. I thought the hacking was really fun. I thought that was the only way to play the second playthrough, and I just hacked almost everything.
It really is the only way. It's the only way to play the second playthrough, especially with all those chips. I'm telling you, if you have a group of people coming at you, killing two of them usually kills all of them.
You know, I think I had a chip on there automatically where they would explode. And it would do AoE damage. So I might have had one of them, but I didn't have what you're fucking talking about.
It has
frying. And
yeah, they catch on fire and they have a good explosion, and you kill about 2 or 3 of them, and the whole group goes away.
If they were like really close to each other, they'd explode. But I didn't have any like.
I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you.
But I did enjoy I really loved the camera angles. It made the game a joy to play. Like, at times I was really pissed off. I was like, I wouldn't have a problem with this if I could fucking see what was happening. But there were a few times where I could not. I enjoyed one of the things that Joe did. He like hacked. Or there was during the second playthrough. There's a part where 9S basically takes over a machine that's like just kind of chilling in this zone, and you have to go around and like make your way through this platform.
Had to
kind
do
of
that
area.
a couple times, yeah. Those fucking stamping machines. Man.
Yeah, no shit. I didn't take over any other machine other than the basic one either.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get the flying
I did.
machine. So I was like,
took
fuck, I
every
didn't
time I
realize
saw a
was supposed to
better
do
one,
that.
I'm like, fuck you, you're mine now.
Well, I got the better one that like does more damage with the axe. I got the axe
the bigger
guy.
dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and it's
sweet.
when you go to do the dodge, you dodge backwards, and so I was
I
spending
dodged
most.
into one. So yes.
I had my guy pointing the opposite direction. I would just keep dodging through the level backwards.
Yeah, but that part. Oh man, where was I going with that? The hacking. Oh yeah, there was a part where Joe hacked a dude, and he chose to make him like subservient to him, and he was just like bowing. Just like got down on his knees and was just bowing, and I really laughed at that. Like there are a lot of really cool little nods and gameplay.
The humorous parts, like
and
the robot sex scene.
Yeah, the robot
the
sex
orgy.
scene was hilarious. I laughed at that for a while. That one was good.
Robot cunnilingus too.
Yeah.
Over the corner.
Yeah, robot.
I didn't see that.
You did it?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dude, yeah. When the part.
His head just so abrupt too. Just.
He was motorboating that. Those flaps. But, I had a lot of fun with the game. I think.
Robo flaps.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 9 as well. I don't think the gameplay was perfect.
Yeah, I had some issues my issues with the gameplay I didn't say, but it was just two things. One, not enough save points in between, and then two,
That's the hard
there were
part about it. I
some
enjoyed
places where I was trying to jump onto a ladder, and the game's physics decided to be a fuck.
I didn't have any problems with the ladders.
Okay.
The only place that I have a problem with his physics is Pascal's village. That's because it's just all ladders.
Yeah, that village was kind of a pain sometimes.
I
but-
guess also it sucks that you can't access some buildings either. Like
Yeah.
it's cut
You
off.
can't go into everything.
Certain buildings you can run in,
Okay.
certain buildings.
There was one part that really, really pissed me off. And it was like it's the beginning of the third playthrough where like dudes start getting elongated necks and they start fucking you with their EMP.
Oh yeah.
Like bubbles. God damn it, dude.
I
There was a
love
part where I could not see anything. I could not move. I could not do anything. It was fucking wrong. Like the screen literally went gray and I could kind of make out the darker gray thing that was supposed to be my dude. I was like,
Yeah,
I
it happened
can't.
to me too.
Like I couldn't hear anything either because they like shut down on like like every sense that you have, and it was brutal.
That's why when you're 9S, you just hold down that hacking button.
Dude, they
And
stopped me
not
from hacking. They stopped me from hacking. They blocked everything, every like possible defense I could have. They just fucked me. I don't even know how I lived through that part. It was fucking wrong. Oh, I got fucked so many times. I warned twice. I was like, dude, you watch out for the elongated necks, man. You fucking watch out for that shit. Because it was wrong.
It does get pretty crazy, but I actually loved that. I hated it doing it when I was experiencing it.
It's a cool thing, but I fucking hated experiencing it.
All right, art design, the look of the game. You said something about buildings with spaces that look like you can walk into it.
Yeah.
That probably is my biggest irk about the design of the game, is that they're willing to do that. Like,
well, yeah, like they're like, okay, it's an open world, but it's not really an open world. It's fairly linear.
I mean, by the time you reach your third playthrough, you're like, there's no more world to explore.
Yeah, I would say that. I would also say that the graphics in this game aren't very good, honestly. Like, for a PS4 game that was released this year, I'm not very impressed. It looks like a super high-end PS3 game.
The building art isn't very good.
It reminded me of Armored Core in a way. Not Armored Core is way worse looking, but the buildings were all just really boring. And
you know what? I think you might be right. The art was a little simple, and then there was some like I could see some glitches in the graphics every once in a while, mostly with the purple girl's hair that was fucking going nuts in one of the scenes that I was playing. It was just like, it was like freaking out. I just remembered that.
Are you sure it's not the logic virus getting to you?
But I thought the design, the anime look to it, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, we're used to like Final Fantasy. This is
one thing I thought was really cool.
A more dominatrix Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm down.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was really cool is when your character's starting to get fucked up with like viruses or NFC errors. When you hit your pause menu is fucked up too.
Yeah, everything affects everything.
Yeah.
It really, like, or when your guy's getting fucked up and the screen's going crazy and shit like that, it's changing the experience. I think for the most part, they did do a pretty good job. I think you are right, Schweiss. I think the graphics, especially in the environments,
characters are really good, but the environments are not as good.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's not something that totally takes me out, but I do think that this is probably the part of the game that suffers the most. One
thing I remembered I wanted to mention. This might be art. We know when you self-destruct.
Upskirt?
There's the upskirt, but you know when you self-destruct as 2B.
Yes.
And her skirt goes away. Have you then started to fish right after?
No.
Well, go do that at some point.
Why?
Because her ass is just right there on fucking display. Because when you go to fish,
is like currently
design,
walking over
10 out of
now
10.
to
when you fish, you have like this weird little hologram thing that she'll sit on, right? That's okay. But when she has no skirt, it's just like right there for you. Is what it is.
It is a nice robo ass. It is bubbly.
And it's like I'm like I know why people love this game now.
All right.
And I love it too.
No. And then when you and then A2 doesn't have a self-destruct, she just has beast mode. where she goes extra damage and stuff, and she gets a little bit hurt from it. But then she just has a bikini on afterwards. So
nice.
So just if you're interested.
Oh yeah. So the game has this pretty dark, kind of stark color palette, except for the forest stuff. And then when someone gets stabbed, the blood
goes everywhere.
Is an insane
it's like a Stars
contrast
show.
to everything else, which I thought visually, it was really gross the first time, but I thought visually it was really cool. And reminded me of that scene in Ron when he goes up the steps and like he faces the one lady who betrays everyone. He just like slashes her and blood just goes all over the wall. And it's an incredible image if you've ever seen the 1985 movie Ron, FYI. But it is similar to that kind of blood work. It is nutso. So anyway, I thought the design was really good, except for, some of the graphic stuff and the fact that I can't walk into the buildings that I see a fucking opening in, and it drove me nuts more than once.
I mean, playing games where you're used to looking for secrets, all those like little hidey holes you think something could be there, you're going to want to look at, but it's like, no, not a hidey hole.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the design choice to like make the environments a little less than they could have was kind of necessary because of how often they switch the camera and like how
because of how complex
how it affects the gameplay. I feel like maybe that's the reason.
Yeah. I can see that.
Well, I thought the design, like the idea of switching up the design and the hacking stuff was really cool as well.
Yeah, and then it like goes all like old school, but like at a
modern old school.
Yeah, like a modern old school looks really good.
I just like how these games, when they go to hack, the hacking mini games. I want to see how many old games that we can turn into a hacking sequence. Like another game, we're gonna have Pac-Man, and that's how you hack.
Dude, I love it when games actually pay attention and like make old school things like the hacking game.
Yeah.
Like,
so what other
fun.
old school game?
Bioshock had Pipe Dream as its hacking.
Doom had areas where you can go into the old Doom. Right?
We should have a question like, what other old school games would be cool to have it as a hacking sequence in another game?
Millipede.
Millipede. Snake.
Yeah. Dude. What'd you think of the design, Mr. Art Major?
Art Major. I guess that's true.
You were an art major.
I was an art major.
Crazy.
And your life has been shit since, so you fit the bill. I was kidding.
Wow.
Ow.
I really did enjoy the art design. I could see kind of like I knew the downgraded graphics a little bit for the environments. I could tell, but I like kind of ignored it because like I kind of felt it was necessary for what like the way that they would shift the camera and like stuff like that for like gameplay purposes.
And that was for gameplay.
Yeah, and that's also like a thing that would like be part of design is like the camera shifts and things like that. And I enjoyed that aspect.
Chase in the chat just said that Craig isn't a starving artist, though.
That's true. I am not.
Man with toast shirt starves.
It's not a toast shirt, but okay.
It does look like little pieces of toast if you're watching on the stream. That's what it looks like.
No, it doesn't.
It did when I was like away and we were Skyping through. It fucking looked like pieces of toast. I was like, who has a Hawaiian shirt with pieces of toast?
I just assumed it was toast. Yeah,
I just need to find him a shirt that has just toast on it.
I just was like, all right, toast shirt.
I would wear it.
A toast shirt.
Give me a shirt that has toast on it. I'm
going to get him a shirt with toast on it, guys.
What if you just gave him a shirt and you pasted pieces of toast?
You just like...
You said you would wear this. There's just crumbs everywhere he goes. Everything falls
like
apart.
actual pieces of toast.
Like actual pieces of toast.
That would be very strange.
That would be a cheap shirt too, because just a couple loaves of bread and just a cheap shirt from Walmart, and just
better if it was like a medium, so it was just like real fucking tight. Just
okay.
So I want to see his very tight skin, just pieces of toast pasted on like some sort of disease. Anyway,
I liked the robots' designs a lot. They were kind of like a really cool looking. I don't know, but I really liked their designs, and I liked the way that the way they shoot things came out, kind of like in patterns, like in weird formations where they would like spin around, or bounce and do stuff like that. I thought like just like everything about the design, like outside of like the environments themselves, and even stuff in the forest looks pretty good. Like even though it's lesser than other games that have come out this year, I really enjoyed what it was anyway. So I think I'd give it like an 8.
An 8 out of 10 for Craig. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to repeat that 8.
Oh, damn
I agree
it.
with it.
I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I came up with the 8.
If you thought 8, then jump on
an 8.
it. It's an 8. Okay, all right.
I'm going to give it a 7.
7.
Yeah, I do think that it is disappointing in areas. Overall, though, it does look pretty good, but there were a couple glitches in there as well, and I know that's kind of more of a gameplay thing, but I honestly attribute it to the art in a way, because I glitched epically, and so did Cameron.
I didn't glitch at all.
When I was going in the space station, I was like walking, and then suddenly the camera just
I did have that. I did have that once too.
And I think it's I honestly, part of me wanted to put it in gameplay, but I think it's more the art design. I think it's the fact that the camera's moving with this loop, and it just fucked everything up. So I had a few things that I felt like were because they went crazy with the camera angle that kind of screwed it over. And the game just doesn't look that great. Although, I mean, obviously it's still really fun to play and has a great story, but I think the down point of the game for me was the visual aspect of it. It just mostly looked bland, and I did enjoy the contrast when things did kick in, like when someone got gored and you just like how great the blood looked. And it wasn't like you're watching Spartacus and it looks fucking stupid where they just accentuate and like someone gets hit in the face and just 300 style epic.
The TV show Spartacus?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like,
the movie is pretty great, Schweiss, and I don't remember
Spartacus.
that.
I don't remember a ton of blood.
Yeah,
There's
like
some blood. Like there's that one part
there's blood
where he like stabs the guy that's coming
there's
up
not
to
like
him. But,
Yeah. But yeah, the show Spartacus.
explosion from the
yeah,
face.
Spartacus is just it's over the top.
All it is blood
Offensive.
explosions.
Yeah, that's what the show
I
is.
don't
and
watch
it-
fucking TV.
so it wasn't like that.
Kubrick movies only.
But it was, I enjoyed the difference, and it made it a good design. But overall, I still think it's pretty solid. So.
Music and sound. I thought the music was fan-fucking-tastic.
Amazing. Like there's like you take a moment, like you're like, wow, this is an awesome track I'm listening to right now. It's just everything else we played up to this point had like, I don't know. This is just a step above.
Yeah, the music that kicks in when you're fighting Adam and Eve for the first time was like the moment when I was like, fucking the music is great. And then someone told me that that the language that they're singing in, which is, it's not distracting because it's not in English, which is usually like a problem I have with games. If there's an English language song in the background, I'm like, fucking stop. And we talked about it earlier on UFF, so it's kind of fresh on my mind, but it didn't have that. It had like this made up French, Japanese language thing. The singers were good. And I thought it was a really cool atmosphere that it was adding. If I'm going to knock the music at all, I'm going to knock it for, there's a couple tracks that are repeated a lot.
Yeah, there were like
Yeah.
the main one where you're just like walking around the main town or whatever.
But then if
area.
you go into hacking mode and you're doing something, the same track is playing, but in like an 8-bit style.
Yeah.
Which was fucking sweet. So I'm just going to knock music 1 point for repetition was a little much. And I don't think any game should ever have a theme song playing at the end with English language music in it ever. So that's also part of that 4 out of 5 for music for me. Sound, thought voice acting was fantastic. Most JRPGs have really bad voice acting in it, and this was not one of those. Voice acting was fantastic. Soundscape outside of that was fantastic. The robots are great and really fun and really interesting, and the performances on those robots are great. I didn't have any sound mixing problems either, which happens a lot in these newer games, so I'm giving sound and music a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to reflect that score, 9 out of 10.
Okay. Cameron or Caleb?
I guess I have to as well. Yeah, I thought at first that the soundtrack was kind of weird,
Even
but
though
then
they-
like it grew on me, and I was like, dude, this
I embrace the
fucking
weirdness
great.
of the soundtrack.
Especially when I got to the Robot Village one, and it's like the children singing, and it was like super weird. But I'm like, this is my favorite one now. I
Yeah.
love the Robot Village soundtrack.
Yeah. I'm going to give this sound and music a 10.
10.
I think there's nothing wrong with it at all. The voice acting was exceptional. I mean, there were some awkward lines in there, but there's nothing you could really do about that. The glory to mankind felt very Hitler-esque.
Well, that's the point. and then in the third playthrough, where they're all putting on their Third Reich uniforms to go down.
Yeah.
That's the point they're trying to get at.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I thought the soundtrack was really great. Even the one song, there's a song in there, I don't know which one it is, that Abrac was like, yeah, I don't really like this song. I was like, I think it's fine. I don't know. None of it bothered me. And I loved the quirkiness of it, like the part where you go into the... There's a section where you go to the machine base and like... There's like a weird machine cult / religion thing.
Oh yeah, in the factory.
Yeah, in the factory, and the song kicks on, and it's "Die and or we will become gods" or something like that, and like the track just like echoes that saying, and like it's great. It's crazy how well the music like just amplifies everything that's going on with the gameplay and with the story, and I think it's probably one of the best implementations of music in a game that I've experienced so far.
Okay.
It was really good.
Any thoughts?
I had one, but I lost it when it was going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Replayability, our second game score. I already replayed this fucking game. I already replayed it in the chapter select to get the ending. There are 26 different endings to explore. I think there's a lot of side quests I never touched. If I had time and I wasn't playing other games for Nude Clan, I would probably, there's like a 90% chance I would probably play this game again. Unfortunately, it has chapter select, so it's not like I would replay the whole thing again.
No, but you're still replaying it.
But I would still replay it. So
Well,
I'm going to give it...
You can delete your data. And
I'm going to give it... Yeah, you do that for every game, Craig.
So you still get the E ending if you don't delete your game.
But like I said, if there's a 100% chance that I'll replay the game, it's a 10 out of 10, and I did already replay it. So maybe it's a timid 10 out of 10. It would probably be closer to a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 10 for replayability. And the fact that there's 26 endings is insane. And you would want to experience all of those.
Yeah, but some of those are just really, really easy.
There's one where you eat a mackerel and you die.
There's one where you self-destruct.
But it's still doing more than just playing the game
it's
once.
fuckery. And
there's a lot of them. There's like one ending that you can
it.
only get after you get like all the weapons. So there's just stuff like that is like really cool to do. I didn't do a lot of the side quests. I did like 16 of them out of the 60 that there are. And I do wish that I had done more. I got all 3 of the pods, which was cool. Because apparently the one where you have to like fish it out of the water is really fucking hard to get.
Yeah, I never got it.
Just listen for the fuckface noise.
No, dude, you have to like fish, and there's like
I
a
gotta
small
replay
chance
it so I
that
can
you
get
get
to
it.
that part again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I like there's like a lot of cool stuff where like you can actually buy the trophies, which is kind of it's an interesting idea, and I think that it's cool that they did that. But like that kind of if you do that, then it's like it downplays the replayability a bit for like the trophy aspect.
All right.
There's like a super optional boss that you can fight if you want to. Yeah, there's
I would like to play it again on normal.
There's just a lot of reasons to come back to this game, like for like the soundtrack, for like a shitload of side quests, for the fact that there's like 3 playthroughs, like a lot of different stuff for it that's like it has going on for it. So I'll also give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Okay.
I know I'm going to play it again tonight just to show you guys some clips of the gameplay. I think 10 out of 10 for me as well. I think I have more of a draw to play this game again than I do for like Horizon Zero Dawn, like other games.
Okay.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't want to be the dick, but I don't know if I could give it 10 out of 10. I think I did play it again, obviously. I did get all but the very last optional ending because I thought that you had to delete your data because it asks you if you want to do that. And I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? I'm not gonna buy the trophy like some cash. So I'm gonna earn it over time. So I'm gonna give replayability an honest 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
I think it's a great game. I think it has a lot going for it. I do think the ability to buy the trophies does damage the integrity of the replay. And honestly, I do want to play it again, though. I want to play it on harder difficulties. I want to experience the game as it is intended to be played on, the expert modes and see if I can get good enough at it. I think the combat is interesting enough. It is fluid enough that you can get. It's 88.
It's 88?
Yeah.
177 divided by 2?
It should be like 88 point something, I think. Or 80s.
It's 88.
88.5, we round up.
Mm-hmm. No, I thought we round down.
No, we rounded up.
If it's 5,
usually.
we round up.
Okay, all right, we can do 89.
I really dug the game.
Spoilers.
And I do want to play it again. I really do. I think that it's a tragedy that we're going to be giving away both of our copies of it, but one day Craig will probably pick it up, and I'll be able to go back through and actually get the platinum for this game. I think it's fun enough that it warrants it. I think the only bad thing in gameplay, other than the glitches and stuff, the fishing is awful.
The fishing, I never did the fishing outside of like grabbing the
It's bad.
the one pod, and
It's
I got
not-
it on my first try, so I didn't have to mess with that.
It's not fun at all. If you didn't like 15's fishing, you will despise Nier Automata's fishing. It's so boring.
It's way more simple than
Well, to
15's.
make it a little more interesting, I suggest self-destructing first and then go fishing.
Yeah, so at least you get to stare at that ass. But yeah, it's a great game. I think you guys owe it to yourselves to go out and experience this game, or experience it from winning. If you happen to be one of the 2 people who have won a game from us this week, I think it's totally worth your time. And yeah, again, I urge everybody to give it a shot. It's a blast.
All right. I'm going to double check something here. Schweiss divides 71 divided by 2. What is that?
It's 35.
It's 35?
0.5.
Okay, we do round up. There was another review where we had to round up, so just making sure we in fact round up after the 0.5. I thought I remember a conversation like way back about we only round down. Just in case like one person gave this a 9 out of 10, we gave every other score was a 10 out of 10. You could have, would you really say it's 100 out of 100? You would say it's 99 out of 100.
If it's 0.5, you always round it
Anyway.
up, though. That's how math works.
Anyway, depends on the math.
Yeah, if it's Joe
You
math,
put a
it just
little,
doesn't
you can put a
work.
little line over the decimal point. Anyway, okay. So, Caleb Schweiss, as a recount, gave story a 9, gameplay a 9, art design a 7, music and sound a 10, replayability a 9, for a total of 44 out of 50. Cameron gave it a 9 for story, 9 for gameplay, 8 for art design, music and sound he gave it a 9, and replayability he gave it a 10 for 45 out of 50. I have every single score the same as Cameron's, so I also have 45 out of 50. Caleb Craig gave it a 7 for story, a 9 for gameplay, an 8 for art design, a 9 for music and sound, and replayability gave it a 10 for 43 out of 50, which means 177 out of 200, or the official Nude Clan score, rounded up by 0.5 decimal points, 89 out of 100.
All right, the PS4 version on Metacritic has an 88. So we are right on track for what everybody else thinks about Nier Automata, apparently.
Nice.
PC version has an 84. I'm not sure why, but there you go. Right on the money.
Good game.
Yeah, as far as Uber games this year,
You know, it's funny, with like during this round of Uber games, I was like, there's fucking nothing to pick from. And I didn't know really about this game at all. And I'm glad I played it.
yeah, I'm glad we pushed back the date because I was concerned because this one was released in like March I said earlier. And
It was a $60 game for me.
Well, you know, this one was also a forced entry for me and Cam, so we could have also played this one, and then our Uber game that we could have just played might have been Persona 5.
Ooh.
I'm glad we avoided that.
So it was the other way around.
Oh man, it would make me so happy to have everyone in on this
Oh,
game.
no.
Joe, there's a super baby mode for
Because-
you. There's a mode beyond easy mode
Where it plays
that
itself,
literally,
basically.
it's for the story.
It's fucking stupid.
It's for you.
It's a video game. There should always be
Should always be
gameplay.
some challenge. Like
Yeah.
easy
so-
mode should just be fun mode. It shouldn't be play itself mode.
I don't
There's a
think it plays
difference.
itself, but there is like an auto battle mode that you can do, like in 4. All right, so final thoughts on the games, you guys are on the game.
Great.
On the game?
Great game.
Yeah, you know, I enjoyed this one a lot because of it had the opposite feeling for me that Horizon Zero Dawn had, where like I didn't feel like Horizon Zero Dawn had enough of an identity, whereas this game feels unique as fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
There is
Totally agree.
nothing about this game that you'd be like, well, that's clearly from this game, or like you can in Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's like everything is just like a stitched part
Also,
of other
this
games.
is the Robo
that you
game.
can easily tell.
This is the Robo game that Armored Core for Answer wishes
that it was. It wishes it had
only in its
super
little
hot
mini game
Robo
moments
chicks
too. Like it only does the Robo stuff in the mini game moments, the flying Robo,
the flying suits,
and it's so much better than Armored Core. So much better.
Yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of this game. Man, it really makes me want to go back and play that first Nier.
What I want to do is go back through as 9S and find all those weird looking robots and go control them. Like, you know, in the forest level.
Do nothing but control every single robot.
Yeah, because in the forest level, you know that robot that rides the horse robot? I want to play that robot.
Like the commander one?
Yeah, I want to be that guy.
Yeah. Oh, you. I think I
The
did
one that
take him
rides
over.
the boar or whatever?
No,
Yeah.
or not the one who rides the board, but the one who rides the robot animal, whatever it is.
The robot elk thing. Yeah, those guys are awesome.
I want to be that guy.
Yeah, totally pick the game up. It's worth every dollar you'll spend on it. Don't buy the trophies. Don't be a cash. Pick them up yourself. It gives it the replay
Yeah, Caleb
value.
told me that you could do that. I'm like, well, that's fucking dumb.
Caleb's the
dumb.
only one
It's-
here who did it. Listen to him
I didn't
defend
get
it.
the plat, but I did get some of them. But
The integrity of your trophies is now forever stained.
lies. I had to play the game to earn the money to earn those trophies.
Cheap,
But
not cheap.
it's the guy is the guy who designed this game is a really strange dude. So like adding this kind of I'm fucking serious. In an interview, he wore one of those robot heads. He just fucking wore it
the
the entire
smiley
time.
ones in the village.
Yeah, like
where
the eagle guy or whatever, the robot head dude.
Emil, he wore that head.
Emil, yeah.
Yeah, we
He
forgot
wore
to
his
mention
head.
Emil. Very strange. I laughed, and that was the weirdest part. That was the
Yeah,
most
the
weeby
fucking
part.
weird part where he like pops out of a dude's head and then rolls and opens the gate for you, and then you get no
He
more
doesn't open it
explanation
for
of
you.
who that
He
guy
smashes
is.
through it.
Until you go buy stuff from him.
Well, yeah, you like find him and buy stuff from him, but it still explains
never did.
I think
nothing.
isn't there a side
never
quest
did.
with Emil?
You can
bought anything
see him
think
on the
there's a
map
side quest with
sometimes,
Emil, right?
and you
There
like
probably
you
is.
got to shoot him to stop him, and then you buy stuff.
Yeah, that was the most weeby the game got, I think.
No, the most
Surprisingly.
weeby was Adam and Eve. Those two are the most anime dudes ever.
They're not dudes. Those
Yes,
are not dudes.
They're dudes. They're smooth dudes, but they're dudes.
They shaved
Yeah.
a little bit more than their body
They
hair.
shaved a little too close.
a
Yeah.
little too close.
Got it down to
Why
that
are we
nub.
wearing underwear?
Yeah, there were some great
God.
conversations.
Yeah, I really
You're
liked
thinking
it.
about how much you want to fuck
I really liked it.
2B
A lot
right
of
now,
people
aren't
said
you?
that this was the game that FF15 should have been. I don't agree with that. But
It's
I
a
did
little
like it a
out
lot.
there for Final Fantasy, but yeah, it's if you're talking quality wise, I could see. But
I can see the argument for it, but I don't. I don't agree.
I think this game's better. But
Really?
I don't think it necessarily should have been Final Fantasy 15. That would have been strange.
it would have been very strange.
Would have been a really odd Final
the
Fantasy
sequel
game.
to another game is the 15th entry to a random series.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, anybody got anything they want to add to this episode before we head out?
There are a bunch of great ways to support the show. You can go through the Amazon link, click through there, buy your stuff. We'll do a little segment at the end of the month joking about the funniest thing we see bought. There's
totally
also
buy some crazy shit.
Yeah, if you guys have Amazon Prime, there's actually a great thing out there where you get a free subscription to a Twitch channel if you so desire. You can log into your Twitch account or create a Twitch account, added your Amazon Prime account to it, and you can subscribe to our channel, and we get like $2.50 a month or something like that. If you guys want
and it
to,
doesn't cost them anything.
It doesn't
It's just
cost you
included
anything.
with Amazon Prime.
It's included with your Prime. So even if you don't like us the most on Twitch, if you're regular, give it to somebody because it's awesome to have. It's like just something that you have, and I know a lot of people use Amazon Prime because free 2-day shipping is fucking amazing, right? So that's another great way to support the show. We have our Patreon set up. Of course, we have our drawings based on our patrons. Each $1 you donate a month gets you one entry into the game drawing where you can win the Uber games and any other games we have that we are finished with. Or not. I mean, with Nier, I'm fucking giving it away anyway. There's also the PayPal if you want to do that. And make sure to follow us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ or youtube.com. You have to search Nude Clan Gaming until we get enough followers to make our own custom URL. You can go to twitch.tv/Nude Clan Gaming. Joe's going to be streaming a lot more, like we said earlier on the podcast. I'm going to be doing a little bit of streaming as well, probably mostly tactics on Ultima, but
I will be streaming as well as soon as P5 is done.
Yeah.
So
it'll be
Oh,
good.
should be
that's
next
our
week.
That's our next game review, by the way. 2 weeks from now.
Yep,
2 weeks.
Have fun, Cameron. If you really want to keep up your deal, we gave you 8 fucking months.
No, it wasn't that long. It was 6.
Dude,
Dude, it's been put off enough that I think it has been 8
I
months.
think it might. Yeah, it was early this year.
So it should have been.
We thought
before
the
now.
vote was like, we thought it was really early, but then when we looked back at our calendar, we found out it was really early. Damn it. Cameron.
Don't worry about it.
Cameron,
Don't worry about it.
You're
It'll
falling
be
apart.
Whenever anybody says that, you have to worry.
See, I do it, but at least I know that I'm being shitty. At least I know what's happening. But anyway,
we might just have to
tweet me at Joseph DeGollier.
Me at Obsidian Bar.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And our website is nudeclan.net or audibletrial.com/nudeclan is a great place to go as well.
Yes, it is indeed.
Thank you to those who have used the Audible trial. Please stay subscribed to Audible. It's a great service. I actually finished book 12 of The Wheel of Time via Audible,
Congratulations.
and it was amazing. It's the first time in a long time that that Wheel of Time
Has excited you in
has
such a way.
been fucking awesome. And book 12 of Wheel of Time is great. Unfortunately, you have to slog from book 4 to book 11.
It's
Book 11's
pretty
pretty
unfortunate.
good. Book 11's pretty good. But there's a good chunk in there of 1,000-page books that are really tough, and 1,000-page books are 40-hour book on tapes, by the way. Either way, Gathering Storm, fucking fantastic. Holy shit. It was so good. And I'm already a third of the way through Towers of Midnight in like 2 days.
How was that?
So far, it's been pretty good as well. But, I'll wait till the end of Towers of Midnight. I realize it's the second act in this final thing, so I'm going to be a little easier on it. But it's fucking goddamn Gathering Storm was good. What did you think of Gathering Storm, Cameron?
I can't pick out specific details from that book.
Okay.
Since all the books kind of
Zombie Town, the fight at the White Tower with all
yeah, that was pretty
Egwene
good,
taking
yeah.
back over, and then Rand
On the mountain.
on the mountain.
Yep.
And
great,
the
great
Tam
book.
thing. That was just an amazing fucking book. It was so good. So this is the first time I've been super happy about a Wheel of Time book, man. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's been really good parts of some of the other sloggy books on the way here, but goddamn, so good. Glad Brandon Sanderson took over.
It's been pretty great.
Pretty great. All right. I think that'll be it, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
We'll see you guys next week.
Enjoy the nude.
May the list go on.
Live always in the nude.
Fuck off.
Yeah!